Does this work? Does this work? Oh, okay. Does this work? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I've actually realized now what I need to do, which I should have done already. Which is on every single screen or every single scene, I need to have an audio input capture, which is not what I normally have. So like this should work now. Yeah, without the view of me. That's what you want, isn't it? Isn't that what you want? All right, we're back. Sorry, I just don't I just never stream, so I just forget how to stream, which is pretty stupid, but it is the truth. Anyway, we're here on well, it's not a deadline stream, but it's a closer deadline stream. To be honest with you guys, there are so many deadline streams that I don't really want to do one. I think it's better to do one now because there's not as much content now in the day as there is later on in the day. And we're about to be joined by a very special guest. In fact, let's get him in right now. And hopefully this will work. Hopefully this will work. And you'll be able to hear Bakar in just a second, who's coming in. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Jack. Thanks for having me. Hello, and welcome to all this is Muse.
Now, let me tell you this: you're not on screen right now because I need to do a little bit of setup, but I think it's working well. You also can't see me, which I know must be quite disconcerting for you. Let's go to this. Right now, everyone should be able to hear us. But they can't see us yet. 1 second. Let me just. I need to deactivate this. Then go on this. Then go on this. Come on. And that's content.
Nice to hear you and see you, Jack. Especially in these stressful times before the deadline. That's brought a smile to my face.
Oh yeah. Well, can people just let me know in the live stream if this is working? I think it should be working fine, but just in case it's not, just let me know. I'm just gonna do a quick check. Just in case it's not, just. Can you hear Bakar? Then go on this. On. And that's content.
Nice to
Yes,
hear you.
you can. Perfect. Okay, good.
Amazing.
Right, we're live, Bakar. We're live. We did it. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I feel relatively set, I guess, on
Well,
my
ready
team.
to lose
I
again,
think
buddy? Like, even though you beat me last year? Doesn't really work.
by how much? Maybe 150, 200, 250 points? How much was it?
What the fuck? That's ridiculous. How much was it? It was quite a lot. It would have been like, was it like 80 points? In my head, it was like quite a lot. Because I know for a while you were about 50 points ahead of me. And I thought, right, if I'm going to catch you, I need to be getting an extra 5 points per week. And then it very quickly became like 10 points per week that I needed. And I was like, yeah, this is impossible.
I mean, I got very lucky last season. I'm hoping that I can, hit the heights of last season, but I realize it's going to be a very tough challenge. But anyway, I saw your video last night, and
Did
we
you?
actually have we actually have 14 out of 15 similar,
Well, I mean
which
that.
is
I'll be
a
honest.
lot.
I don't mind that. I really don't mind that because normally I'd be like, oh, I want to have a different team to you, but in reality, as I said in that video, I found it quite hard to pick a team this season. Literally only last night when Ollie, our editor at Fantasy Football Hub, was saying, I need your team for a team reveal, and I spent many hours on it like yesterday evening, really trying to think what I'm going to do with it, because normally, because I'm interviewing people on the channel, I don't really have to put forward my team and my thoughts as much. So I can get loads of information from people like you. And then eventually I'll come to something I was happy with. And I know that this is actually really cringe, but that I've got like, you know, the feeling you have when you're like, okay, I've had a lot of drafts. I've thought about it loads. I feel happy with this team now. I feel like content, like I'm ready for deadline. I only got that late last night with this team. So yeah, although I will say the team that I showed in that video is actually, it's the team that I showed at the end that I've gone for. So not the team at the start, which is interesting, isn't it?
Jack, can I add to that?
Of course.
So this feeling that you mentioned about, you hitting that sweet spot rather, where you feel very comfortable heading into the season. I've been sort of very fidgety with my drafts for a while, but I think I'm coming close to a conclusion now, and I think that feeling is very close to hitting me. And hopefully, I haven't deviated much from what we went with on our video or what I've shared on my socials or on the Fantasy Football website. I've
Yeah.
maybe 2 to 3 changes is what I'm considering. But overall, I think my strategy of wildcarding in three is still going to be in place. I will definitely be bench boosting game week one. I will almost certainly be going without no Haaland. And a lot of people, when we recorded on Monday, thought that it was for clickbait, and I was not actually considering it. But I feel fairly content doing it, irrespective of the outcome. Now, Haaland will go on and bang a hat trick against Bournemouth on Sunday, but so be it. As far as I'm happy with the decision-making process, that is exactly what matters at the end of the day to me. And over the period of time, if I keep on making decisions rationally, I'm sure that I'll end up with a respectable rank.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I also like, I think the difference this year with not going for Haaland is that it's not like it's not being different for the sake of being different. It is a legitimate strategy, especially if you have a short-term view. Because I think we all know that we're gonna need Haaland at some point very quickly. But I think you can go. I think there is merit to going against them. I'm looking at predicted points here. They are increasing for this Bournemouth game, like sort of as we speak. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I think that going aggressive is all right. Using a chip for sure in game week 3 is fine. And then like, I'm not wedded to wildcard in game week 3. I could free hit, and because it depends. We'll have like a lot of info by that point. You know, that's in 2 full weeks, and anything could have happened by then. So you don't have to use a chip in game week 3 necessarily. Like you could even free hit that week, and if the team might look okay for game week 4. I have had a look. I had like a play around to trying to get to Haaland naturally in my team without using a wild card in game week 3. So trying to get him in game week 5. It is quite challenging, but it can be done. But it's hard to get to the Chelsea players you'd want and Haaland. You pretty much just have to sell Bruno.
Exactly. I was going to say that. I mean, Bruno out could be it could be a strategy that people consider in game week 3 once the Hull and
Yeah.
Ipswich fixtures are out of the way. It's not something I would do, not because I love Bruno Fernandes and I think he has a lot of roots to points. Obviously, that's a separate argument altogether, but because I am the sort of manager who wants to save as many transfers early on in the season. So I just don't like using too many transfers to commit that sort of surgery, especially that early on. So it's not a strategy that I am considering. I think if you're going without Haaland in game week 1, Jack, I think you effectively have to just accept that you will be using a chip in game week 3. Now, whether that is a free hit or a wild card remains to be seen, and it can be debated on when we get closer to the game week 3 deadline.
Yeah.
But I think as of now, you just have to pencil in whatever chip for game week 3 and move on for the rest of the season.
Right. Shall I share my screen with you? So you can have a look
Sure.
at my team and stuff as we do this, and then we'll have a look at your team. Let me just do that for you. Sorry, I know it's a bit weird, everybody, but you should be able to see that now. Pakar.
I do. Yes.
Okay, then give me 1 second to change scene and make sure the audio is working. Right, audio should be working now. Just such a noob. Like something like it's actually it's harder than it looks to do this. I will say. Like the guys that stream often, I'll give them some credit. They do it well. Right, before we get into talking about my team, this is my team. I will say I'm very close to being locked on this team. Very close. But I need to say this. For
How
you guys
close?
watching right now, you've got to go and get your team rated right now and sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. If you want to win at FPL this season, you need to be on this website, this app. It's like so good. You've seen it all preseason. If you've been thinking about it all preseason and you weren't sure, do it now. Do it before Gameweek 1. And if you don't win your mini league, you'll get all your money refunded to you. It's literally no risk. So go and get it done. Okay, Bakar. Rate my team.
Okay, so I think we're fairly similar in terms of the structure. As of now, I think we have three players in total that are different
Really?
to my draft. So
Okay.
I see that you've gone with Semenyo, De Kuiper, and Calafiori. And these are three players I think I will not be owning in my draft. That those are our main differences. Effectively, what you've done is you've gone with Semenyo, and
Yeah.
I have gone with Gabriel. That's the main difference
Yeah.
in our draft, and that's why it's the change of sort of funds allocation.
Okay, so have you gone Gabriel, Lefay, and what is it, like a Williams or another 5 million defender?
In my team, I
No, another
actually,
4.5 you must have gone for.
yeah, I was going to say, so instead of Semenyo, I had Lefay.
Yeah.
Now, had is the key word because I have sort of changed
Oh, okay.
for this frame. So I had Lefay instead of Semenyo. I had Califiori, like you do, and I also had I also have Gabriel over de Kuiper. Basically, that's those are differences,
Wait, say that again. Sorry,
right?
who did you have instead of Calafiori?
So I had Califiori
Sorry,
in my
yeah. Who do you
draft.
have now
I don't
instead of?
have him anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I have Neco Williams
you
in
have.
this
Okay,
spot
yeah, yeah, yeah.
instead of Califiori. I have Neco Williams instead of Califiori in this draft. I have Gabriel over de Kuiper. And in the Semenyo spot, I initially had Lefay, but now I have Pascal Gross. So those are our three differences.
Okay, I get it. That's very. It's very
Okay.
similar. That's the only thing that I'm sort of. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. Like if you saw my video, you'll know that like one of the teams had Semenyo, the other team had Lefay. Like Gross, I think is pretty similar. So you've done this, and yeah, Williams. Williams is a player I really like. So
Yeah, a lot of people are hesitant to go for him because he's playing against Calvert Lewin on the
maybe who
bench boost. That's
cares?
the
Who cares? Oh wow, higher team rating. So the AI likes us more. That's your team.
yeah. Yeah, and initially I was on, I
I
think,
like this.
96% team rating. Yeah, I will touch upon the team in a minute. I just wanted to say initially, I also had Roofs and goal over Raya, and in the Calafiori spot, I had Calafiori. Sorry, so I basically had Roofs and Calafiori. Now I have Raya and Neco Williams. That's the difference in my defense, and I just think that Raya is better than Calafiori in my opinion because I worry with Calafiori with the early subs. I generally think that he'll get subbed early. And while he does have some attacking threat, that also sort of naturally reduces when I expect him to get subbed early. And obviously that means that he doesn't have chances of hitting defcons. So I would rather be in a position where I'm playing Raya over Calafiori. Also, the fact that I quite like the comfort blanket of Raya in Game Week 2 as opposed to Roofs. Even though Roofs is Fulham at home, I would rather just have Raya away to Villa. So that's the second advantage. And the third advantage, which is quite significant, is the fact that initially I was on triple Sunderland, but now I only have Ballard in my draft, and I have gone with Gross and Neco Williams in my team, which I think it spreads the risk, and uh, I think it's a team which I can even, let's say, pivot to free hit three if need be, or it's more of a hybrid arrangement. I don't think it's a set in stone wildcard three team, but it's a hybrid
Yeah.
team which can cater to all strategies. So I quite like it. I mean, it's very safe in my opinion, and you know how. Uh,
No,
how
that's why I
much
like
of
it.
a
That's
risk
why I
averse
like it.
manager I am.
No, I think it's good. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to work out if it's better than my team and if I'm going to copy you or not. Because I don't care about copying. No, not really. I think like because I saw Andy tweeted the team that I was on yesterday, and I was like, oh, I really hope he doesn't go for that team, like with my Semenyo draft, because I was like, I really like that team. Um, yeah, it's really strong. It's really, really strong. And I think, like, obviously you've got a weaker midfield because I have Semenyo over Gross. Do you think it's worth the sacrifice to get to Semenyo? Like, what are your thoughts on Semenyo as a player? And by the way, guys, we're going to get to the live chat in a second. Sorry, I know we've not answered any of your questions yet.
Yes.
But yeah, I just care about
Yeah, I
my
think
team for now.
I think Jack Semenya is obviously better than Gross, but when you couple it with the fact that you can get Gabriel and a better defense, much better defense on the bench boost, I think it's a bit of a no-brainer picking the one which has more routes to points because then you're heavily reliant on Semenyo. And I don't want to be heavily reliant when I don't have any idea how City are going to play under the new manager, whether Semenyo is going to play in a more wider position, how his minutes are going to be like. I would
Yeah.
rather have some evidence before I spend 8.5 million on that sort of a player. So it's the sort of team which I feel comfy with. If it pays off, it does well, of course. I'll be very happy. If it doesn't pay off, at least in my head, I'll know that I made a relatively logical choice, which backfired or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I want to touch upon one very crucial thing, and I'm sure a lot of people are asking about it in the chat. Is that I'm sure a lot of people would be asking White versus Calafiori. Why do I have White and why don't I have
Yeah, I just
Calafiori?
seen that
Now,
that question from Ethan Porter, good man himself.
yeah, I think this is probably because I think that White is more likely to play 90 minutes in this fixture and in the next fixture. And I think that his attacking threat is higher than Calafiori. I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion. I would like to pick your brains on this one because you actually have both in your draft. So maybe you can offer me an unbiased opinion on this.
Well, my thinking is this. I think White is well, I don't like the problem I have is that I just don't know whether I should be locking myself into an early wild card, like, or I should have at least some flexibility. Like, I think White is okay. So, firstly, Calafiori, he out of all the games he started last season, he was subbed off before the 60th minute in 3 of those only. Now, it's obviously that's more than zero, but I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna be subbed off before the 60th. It's quite rare for players to be subbed off before the 60th minute. I mean, even like fullbacks, it doesn't happen that often. Obviously, it's more risky, and I definitely think that White's expected minutes for the first game week at least, probably a little bit more, are better than Calafiori's. I have them both because I just think there's upside there for both of them. And I feel like across the first couple of weeks, I can go against Gabriel and use that 2.5 to get to Semenyo. I just feel like the maybe this is wrong, but I feel like there's more value in going for a Semenyo over a Lefebvre than there is a Gabriel over a Calafiori. I just like that, like looking at his positioning, looking at Calafiori's positioning in that game in the Community Shield. I was just like, that is unbelievable. And Coventry at home, he could easily get 15 points in that game. That's what I'm thinking. And it's very short-term thinking. But for White, I think his place is only under threat by Konza or Mosquera. Like, there's a chance that when Konza comes in, one of Konza or Mosquera goes to right back. I think that's quite unlikely. I think that position is White's to lose. So I mean, Timber, I think is going to be a while away. He's not even training with the first team yet, and even then, he's not just going to suddenly start games. I think we'll get a good idea that Timber's back or going to be back when he comes off the bench for 20 minutes or something, or plays in a League Cup game or something like that. I don't know. I feel like it's Calafiori's position, and it's a long season, and Nkapie will play a lot of minutes, but not right now. Villa away is like the game where I would normally think, okay, maybe you go a bit more defensive there and you play Nkapie, but they look so weakened right now. I don't think they necessarily are going to do that, Arteta. But
Jack,
what
I
do you
have a
think?
point to add. Yes, my point is that effectively, look, as I said, there's like a 90% chance that I wildcard in three, right? In game week two, like you mentioned, Arsenal have Villa away,
Yeah.
but in the same week, I will have Gabriel, I will have Maguire at home to Ipswich, I will have Ballard at home to Fulham. So I don't effectively need the Calafiori or White spot anyway in the
Yes,
second week.
exactly. Yeah.
I will I will probably just play Raya and Gabriel and be done with it. I think two is fine against Villa. I don't need three. It's like the
Exactly.
Moneyball fixtures Coventry, right? So effectively, I'm only picking one for 1 week, and if I'm picking one for 1 week, I just think that White has more upside. Like you said, the expected minutes are higher
You think
this
White
week,
has more
so might
upside?
as well go. Yes, I do, because I think he's likely to stay on the field for more minutes, and he's likely to play in a more attacking position. I might be wrong with the attacking position
No, you're
narrative. I might
the
be.
Calafiori has more
Yeah, I
upside in
might
terms of
be.
like potential output for a goal involvement. I agree with you. White has more upside because he'll be on the pitch longer. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Basically, that's it.
yeah. It just sort of yeah, it's a good point from SNK 1800. White has more upside if Saka is playing. They obviously have that fantastic partnership down the right. Yeah, White has traditionally been like a really good attacking fullback. He's not like he's not marauding, but he's quite technical, and he's had quite a few assists in his career. But I think Calafiori, like he is, I mean, his underlapping is like box crashing. He's also a much better finisher than White. I mean, his actual goal threat is way higher than White's. Um, I'm struggling not to go with him in game week 1, and I think that's another key reason what you just said there. If we're gonna not play one of them in game week 2, because like you don't, and I'll show this here. I'll show this with your team, but I mean it's the same for my team. If we go to game week 2 and click optimize, White isn't in the team. For me, it's Calafiori
I
who
was
wouldn't.
having a look at.
Yeah, one of them wouldn't be in the
I was,
team.
yeah, I was having a look at both of their expected minutes, and both were 4.8 for the first week.
Yeah, it's very close. It depends. Like if you want to be a bit safer, I'd go White. I've seen some of the comments in the live chat. I think that Timber is going to be a while away because he's missed a lot of football. He's not played football in 3-4 months, and he came back to play in what was it, Champions League final? He came on, and then he hadn't played before that for a
Right.
bit of time, and then hasn't played since. So obviously he wasn't right, and they had to play him in that game. He didn't start that game, but he came on in the 65th minute or whatever. So I think like there's no rush with him, and we know he's had a serious long-term injury before. So I think it's absolutely fine to go for White for a bit more safety, and I think he is safe. But I just think the upside of Calafiori is so high in this game, the key game. Like imagine we triple clean with 2 attacking returns, and you just have 25 points. You could start to dream in game week 1, Bakar. You could.
I completely hear you, and yeah, I mean it's something that I will consider close to the deadline. This team is not locked in. Let me confirm.
Good to see Seb in the chat. How are you, Seb? Seb on golf, one of the fantastic 3 brothers. I don't really want to say the YouTube brothers or whatever, the Carmichael Brown brothers. Seb has asked latest thoughts on Ndai. Now, I think Ndai is a good pick. He's in my team. Like he was in my team when the game launched, then came out of the team because of all the rumors. I think he's because that seems to have settled down now. I'm very happy to go with him again. I've got him ahead of Lefay personally in that 6 million slot. He's in your team as well, Bakar, so you must be pretty hot on him.
Yeah, I mean, the best part about India is that he works well in all strategies. So whether you're wildcarding in 3, if you're wildcarding in 7, because Everton have Crystal Palace at home in the opening game week, which is a good fixture, and then in 5 and 6 they're playing Hull and Ipswich respectively. So he helps all sort of strategies. I don't think he will move personally. He's had pretty much a full preseason as well now. So there seems to be
Oh,
little reason to doubt his selection. I just think you're right when you say that he's better than Lefay in terms of both uh, dependence and reliability of points, and the fact that his fixtures are also better after game week 2.
okay. Apparently, I've actually missed this morning. There's been news on Ndai. Sources indicate that at least 3 top flight sides have been circling Ndai in recent weeks, and Everton are increasingly aware that an offer for the player could arrive soon. That's not great to hear, to be honest. I will say that, like for me personally, I like if I do wildcard in game week 3, then I only need Ndai for game week 1 because you've got Gross. I'm gonna switch back to my team for a second just to show this on screen. I don't necessarily need Ndai for more than 1 week, but I don't want to be locked into only having a player for 1 week. Yeah, it's not ideal news, to be honest. What do you think? Have you heard anything on that, Bakar, today?
I haven't. I haven't. This is actually the first time I'm
Yeah.
hearing from you.
I don't
If
know.
it
There's
is true,
always
then
going to be
it's
like,
not
there's
that
always
great.
going to
Yeah.
be like, rumors and stuff
Chatter.
circling, chatter. But it's not. It's actually not true. You don't want chatter about your players at all. It's not good. I
There was a very
suppose.
similar situation last season as well regarding Paqueta, if you remember, and a lot of people had him, and
Well,
then there
yeah.
were transfer rumors regarding him. So it's a very similar situation over here as
Just
well.
just to show my team, Gameweek 1 he plays, and unless something happens in the next few hours, I mean, surely he plays that game. Then in Gameweek 2 he drops to the bench. Like I wouldn't play him over any of my other 7 attackers. And then if I'm going to wildcard, again, though, I don't want to be locked into a wildcard in Gameweek 3. And as you say, the fixtures from Gameweek 5 are really good. Interesting that his predictor points are low. That must be due to news and rumors and stuff. I don't know. Let me have a little look at a comparison between him and Lefay. I think that's who I'm between in these two, or this 6 million slot. You like Lefay as well, right?
I do. I do. I think he's a solid enabler. It's just that in my previous draft I had triple Sunderland, which was making me feel slightly fidgety.
Yeah,
But I don't mind doing NDI to Lefay. I think it's fine. And Lefay's first two are actually quite ideal for someone who's wildcarding in three.
yeah. It's annoying. It's an annoying headache because I just do prefer Ndai to Lefay just as a footballer, like for like just higher up the pitch. I just prefer him. And he's definitely going to be on pens, whereas Lefay might not be. But that's not ideal to see. So that's we're 4 hours out from deadline. Stuff to think about. Bakar, I want to do a few minutes on just questions from the chat whilst we have you here.
Sure.
Bakar's not going to be with us for the entire live stream. Over 700 of you in the chat, which is great to see. Thank you for joining. So what I'm going to do is just go through some questions from the live chat. Get your questions in, and Bakar will answer them. So Seb says, actually, I want to go back to this because we haven't actually touched on this. No Haaland strategy, just in general, and game week 3. Seb saying you could triple captain in game week 3 and then hold the wild card. Is that possible? How? Yeah, I suppose one more time I'll ask you, strategy wise, why are we really considering going without Haaland and using a chip in game week 3?
Because it works well in conjunction with the bench boost. You have a very credible alternative in Fernandez, who's playing Ipswich and Hull in the first two. And because the captaincy can be covered, quote unquote, you can spread the cash across the rest of the squad and hope that a non-Haaland team can come close to, or at least outscore a Haaland team in the horizon. That's why it's popular. Now, triple captaincy in 3, I'd never take triple captaincy that seriously, to be honest. I think in game week 7, Manchester City are going to be playing Ipswich as well. In 16, they're playing Hull at home. So there will be other opportunities later in the season as well. I would not want to plan a chip strategy around the triple captain as early in the season. I just think that um, the wild card and free hit and bench booster are far more powerful chips in terms of what they offer. So it's absolutely imperative to get that right.
Yeah, I do agree with that. One more time, if you had to choose between Ndai, Gross, and Lefay, or Lefay, I always pronounce his name wrong. Which two are you picking?
I think Enjoy, I haven't exactly read up on any news from today, so I'm going by what I already know. So Enjoy for me. And second, I'm fine with either of Lefay or Gross, to be very honest, because if you need the point 0.5, you just go with Gross. If you need someone to play both games in 1 and 2, then you pick Lefay. It eventually comes down to the 8 playable attackers that you need.
I think I'm going to have to go for. I'm just saying. I'm just having a look on Twitter. There's quite a lot of chat about it. Nothing concrete at all, but there's enough chat to, it seems like a bit of a 50-50 decision anyway, really, between
That's
Lefay and Ndai.
significant.
Yeah.
If it's a lot of chat, then it becomes quite a significant problem to solve. But the good thing is we have a ready-made alternative and Lafay available, so you just might as well just like swap him to him.
Thoughts on De Kuyper and Hume for the starting weeks? Two cheaper fullbacks that are playing or potentially playing out of position.
Yeah, I personally don't have any interest in either because I think that with the advent of DEFCONs, the way I look at FPL has changed quite a lot in recent years. I think if a guy's playing on the left wing and is a defender, it used to excite me a lot, but now I would rather have the safety net of DEFCONs because Brighton and Sunderland are two relatively okay defenses. It's not that they're like, a very, very good defense. So you're effectively relying on either an attacking return or a clean sheet. But I just think that I would rather depend on the reliability of DEFCONs as opposed to a random attacking threat, even if a guy's playing out of position.
What do you think about Tavernier? This is one of your
I don't
FPL
think
darlings, and we saw. I mean, that was amazing, by the way. That if you guys haven't seen, because very viral clip, which he thankfully let me post on socials. Was that clip or was that another one? I can't remember. Maybe it was the Bruno pen miss. I can't remember. But anyway, that one you
it
posted.
was both.
Was it both? Anyway, it went very viral and was used in an official FPL ad, which I thought was really cool. And it does that clip of Bakar furiously celebrating a Tavernier penalty. It does sort of sum up FPL. To be fair, I like the passion. But yeah, what are your thoughts on him?
I don't think he's an option at this point because Clivert has returned, and I think Clivert will be on pens. And the main thing is that a lot of us are on bench books in Gameweek 1, and Bournemouth are playing City away. So he's become a bit of a non-option, as has been the case with a lot of Bournemouth assets at this point, simply because of the fixture schedule.
Yeah, I agree with that. How close do you think you are to your team being locked in? This isn't your team on screen. This is my team, but
yeah, I will have to check the NDI news and
no.
act accordingly. I might change to Lafay. Apart from that, I feel relatively comfortable, I would say, because going Lafay over NDI is just another step towards a wild card in three, right? It effectively nails it down. In which case, then I might as well go with Calafiori. It's just not. It's just that
But then
NDI, as I
might you not
mentioned,
just go
allows
for
a,
might you not just go for Ndiaye then if you're like because if he moves then well I mean he might be a good pick anyway. He might go to. I'm seeing some chat about him going to City because I mean this Doku injury is tough for City and they're losing. Savino's gone. Marmoush almost. Well, it looks like he's going to go as well. They're looking light in their forward areas now.
I don't have any interest in any player who's moving clubs. To be honest, I have been asked
Yeah,
quite a lot about Konsa as well,
yeah,
and I just don't want to second guess starts. It's the same logic with Njai as well, even greater so when I'm bench boosting in Game Week 1. It's just not happening.
yeah. Absolutely. Let's do a few more questions, Bakar. If you have a bit of time. Any thoughts on
I have a
Palmer?
couple of minutes, check.
Couple of minutes, okay. Any thoughts on Palmer? Asks Chris. He's a player that was in my team until quite recently, and I just don't think I've seen enough in pre-season and over the past year and a half or so to warrant going there. So, as opposed to Semenyo, who's been so consistent and is a million cheaper.
I think Palmer is a very credible option for people who are looking to wild card later or to delay the wild card. And he was in my draft at that point as well, Jack,
Yeah,
when I think you had him too. It's just that everything is now pointing towards a chip in Game Week 3, very likely a wild card in Game Week 3, in which case it becomes very hard to justify a player of Palmer's price, especially when he can lock you out of assets like Gabriel, who are probably going to outscore him in the opening two fixtures, and there's a considerable price difference as well. So the main appeal of Palmer lied in the Hull fixture in Game Week 4, and if you're wildcarding in Game Week 3, you might as well get him at that point or decide what to do with him later. That just changes things for me.
Wildcard Game Week 3. Do you go triple Chelsea despite the fact they play Arsenal?
No, I don't
Really?
think I will. In fact, I think Bruno versus Palmer is going to be quite a tough and a tricky decision at that point because United's fixtures will turn after Game Week 3, and you will notice a lot of people wanting more Chelsea assets and wanting to sell Bruno for Rodgers or Palmer or whatever. And I'm just not sure whether selling Bruno is going to be
Yeah.
viable because the guy has too many routes to points. It's not worked out well for me in the past. I mean, I have owned him for like I think for 2 seasons straight, I've owned him. Apart from one game week, I don't know whether you remember this, Jack. Last season, there was this one double game week in which United were playing Chelsea away, and I actually picked Enzo because Enzo had two fixtures, and I had 5 free transfers, and I sold Bruno because he had one fixture, and he actually outscored Enzo
Yeah, I told you
despite
Enzo was a bad.
having
I
two
remember telling you Enzo was
fixtures.
a bad pick.
Yeah. So it has never worked out well for me whenever I
Mm,
sell him. So the guy's an absolute FPL machine, really. So I would feel very uncomfortable with the idea of
yeah.
having to sell him.
I mean, you can see on screen Bruno is like way ahead of Palmer, and I've sorted this. I don't know if you can see this, or you can now from game week 3, or let's do even from game week 4, where Chelsea's fixtures really turn. Um, Bruno's still ahead. Right. Last few quickfire questions. I'm going to ask you all of them at once, and you can just give one word answers so I can get to people in the chat. Thoughts on
Sure,
Solis?
please. I think he's a good option for people wildcarding in three, for sure.
Okay.
Not bad. And I think his appeal will actually increase if the NGI rumors are to believed.
Okay. Thoughts on Frimpong?
He's someone I'm actually considering, but I need to do some more due diligence on him before I recommend him to anyone because I'm not entirely sure about his um, consistency of starts to begin with. He will be first choice, but I want to see how long that's going to continue.
Okay. And then final question. Thiago versus Isaac asks TN Viking 1036.
I think Isak is better for people who are um, planning a wildcard later. And he's also better if you can afford him before wildcard 3. But if funds are an issue, Thiago, I think, can come close to matching Isak. I don't think there's a huge difference either way between both of them. I personally like the upside of Liverpool's attack. I like the Newcastle fixture for them a lot because Newcastle are a team in crisis. So I'm happy going with Isak. But if I need the funds, then I don't mind that downgrade to Thiago because Brentford's main appeal lies in the first 3 fixtures as well. Their fixtures are quite tough after game week 4. So if you're wildcarding early in the season, then Thiago could be a good option.
Okay, Bakar, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time there. Sorry, I know I went a bit over what we'd scheduled to do, but hopefully that's okay.
No problem.
Bakar's got to run off
Thank you,
now
Jack.
and deal with all your people that have signed up with you and sort your own team out as well, I suppose. If you do want to see Bakar's final team, it will be posted on Fantasy Football Hub. My team's on there as well. Loads of other experts. Bakar, good to see you. See you very soon.
Cheers, Jack. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And there he goes. Oh. I mean, I will just say, I'm not very good at streaming, but there we go. Can you hear me? I think we're back. I think we are back. Can you hear me? Yes, we're back. Okay. There goes Bakari, buddy. What a man. What a man. Let's answer some more questions from you guys because we didn't actually get through that many questions there. I know, which is my own fault. I just get carried away chatting. So let me answer a few questions. Thoughts on Shaw? Now, Shaw is like the most boring pick ever, but he played every game last year. He started all 38 games, and United have like 2 fantastic opening fixtures, and he's 4.5 million. He's barely going to get DEFCON ever. He got 10 DEFCON points last year. So what's that? A 5 and 38 hit rate is shocking. He got hardly any attacking returns. So you're going for the clean sheet. Holloway and Ipswich, it makes sense. But I think there are more fun 4.5 million defender options out there, personally. But it's up to you. I'm not sure. I just think it's so boring. And what if either of those 2 teams just nick a goal and then you just have no potential for any sort of return at all. Whereas like Maguire, he scored in the 2nd minute in a preseason friendly the other day. If that happens, doesn't really matter what happens in the rest of the game. Thoughts on Xhaka? I'm not going to go there myself. He looks very good, but again, I just don't like picking players that are new to the league unless they're huge players like a Haaland. So for me, I'm not going to go for Xhaka, but I think he's going to start, and you could definitely go there. Someone said to me, Wayfaring, Jack, you are doing really well. Well done on your first streaming. Well, thank you very much. I have actually streamed before, and I promise that's not my mum in the chat. but I appreciate it. I appreciate it nonetheless. Is Virgil a good option for 1 and 2 or wait? No, I think he is a good option for 1 and 2. When I first got rid of Gabriel, I went to Van Dijk because I thought he is the next best defender, which he is. Like, he should come second in terms of overall points for defenders this year. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. And he had a great goal scoring year last year. Newcastle away, not the easiest opening fixture, but like the fixtures are really good after that. I'll actually go on a fixture analyzer in a second. LFC fan 90, what camera do you use? The quality is insane. Thank you. It's not a webcam, it's an actual camera. That's the hack, by the way, with getting good webcam quality is actually not using a webcam, just using an actual camera. So it's a proper camera. I have another YouTube channel, like my main YouTube channel, where I've had this camera for ages. If you want to check it out, it's called Redditor. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. Not the sort of content that I put on here very often. So let's go back to... See, every time I change scene, I just need to do a new input. It's very stupid. I mean, surely other people don't do this. Anyway, let's lock into this now. Let's lock it in. Okay. Thoughts on Gibbs White? Good question. Gibbs White had a fantastic year last year. It was probably absolutely gutted not to go to the World Cup. Let's do the first 6 game weeks as a horizon on Fantasy Football Hub. I think that's reasonable to do. He just doesn't do that well compared to cheaper midfielders. I think that's because the fixtures are quite tough. Like Liverpool away, then a new Tottenham at home, and then Villa away. I don't think that's good enough for me to go for an 8 million midfielder. You can see Semenyo's decently above him, not by lows to be fair, which is slightly concerning as an owner. And then Palmer's above him as well. Szoboszlai's above him. Yeah, he's not for me, but there is definitely merit to going there. I think again he's gonna obviously be the main man for Forest this season. It's just the game week 2, 3, and 4 where I just think there's potential for upside with other players that I don't think Gibbs White has. You know, if I sort by those weeks, he drops down quite a lot. When you have like Solis and Sarr and Dewsbury Hall all at 6.5 above him, then I don't think he's necessarily a great pick. But I understand why people would want to go there. Am I the Redditor? Yes, I am. That is my channel name. That's my channel name. But again, very different content to the sort of stuff that you'd see on here. But I've had that channel for about 7 years. It's got about 600,000 subscribers. Notice the Fantasy Football Hub algo increased rating of the Haaland draft versus non overnight. Is that true, Seb? Is that true? Let me have a look at this. I mean, I'm actually asking. Like, it probably is true. Yeah, wow. So, yeah, Haaland was not in the best Game Week 1 wildcard team, aka the best Game Week 1 team. Yesterday. Now he is. I will say, like, the Fantasy Football Hub model, a prediction model, has been updated quite significantly, and points projections are jumping around a decent amount more than they were last year because we're incorporating betting odds into the model this year for the first time, which I think is the thing to do. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of like betting in general, but I think for predictions, it's very key because that's really the most up-to-date odds that you can get. And obviously, betting percentages are based on super up-to-date information and news, etc. So it's important to have in a model. I wonder why his odds, I suppose, have shortened in terms of scoring. If you look at like Rob T's numbers, I think he's something like 80% to score in Game Week 1, which is extremely high, way higher than anyone else, as you would expect each and every game week, really. But yeah, he's miles ahead. As long as Bruno has more expected minutes, and I think he does, and I don't know, like if City aren't doing well, I don't think Maresca's going to take Haaland off. But there's no way that his fitness can be at the same level as someone like a Bruno. I mean, Bruno did also play in the World Cup, but Bruno is Bruno. And he was back in pre-season before Haaland was. I don't know. I'm happy to go against it. It's just a 2-week punt for me. It's just a 2-week punt. So, yeah, why not? Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with going for a Haaland draft, by the way. I just think, why not go against it? And I just don't think those first two are... I wouldn't. I'm not going to captain Haaland in either of those games. So I'm happy to go against it. Hopefully I'll have a big enough advantage after the first 2 weeks where it's okay that I have to utilize a chip earlier than potentially I would like to. Is there a big difference between starter and pro subscription? Asked Charlie. You know what? I will show you right here. I will show you. Starter versus pro. I think pro is the thing to get, I will say. It's the most popular for a reason. This is Fantasy Football Hub, by the way. You can click the link in the description or the top of the live chat. Go and check this out. You see the AI team of the week, which is something that I've made videos on. It shows the best free hit team of each game week through the season, according to Fantasy Football Hub's AI, and also the best wildcard team. You know what? I'll just show you right now. Why not? I probably shouldn't do this, but I'll show you. We're still a few hours out from deadline. I don't know if this is allowed, but anyway, according to our AI, and this is what Seb was sort of alluding to in chat, this is the best game week 1 wildcard team. Haaland is now back in it, which is the key point here. Now, you couldn't bench boost with this team. This is not the best bench boost team, but it is the best wildcard starting team according to predicted points. The free hit team is actually exactly the same as when I looked at it yesterday. The only difference between this free hit team and the one that I made a video on a couple of days ago is that Solis has come in for Odegaard, and their predicted points are very similar. So it likes the Coventry at home fixture from an attacking point of view, as you could probably expect. But yeah, that is the Game Week 1 free hit team. That is the AI wildcard team. If I go back to having a look at the differences, you get Ben Crellin's planning sheet. You get access to WhatsApp communities to talk to other people. I mean, I know for me personally, one of the things that I loved about FPL was when I joined As from Scouts Cash League, probably 8 years ago or something. And I was like, all right, I saw him tweet and I was like, I'll join this. And then now I've got good mates in that league and we've met each other lots and we do meetups to watch football. As cringe as that might sound, we actually do. And it's very good fun. And they're not neeks as well, which I think nothing wrong with that, but they're good guys. And that has been nice. And I use that WhatsApp chat that I've been in now for 7-8 years all the time. Not just when watching games or talking about FPL, but the amount of times that I've got actual utility from that group chat from people saying, by the way, this has just happened, I couldn't count. So it's a really good tool. You can also just ask people who you trust their FPL opinion, should I go for this or this? Yesterday I did a little poll in there, and I had 11 people vote for A and 2 people vote for B. Now that is enough for me to tell me that A is significantly better than B. So it's a good sense check as well. So I massively champion WhatsApp chats and communities. This is the key thing here. This is why you need to get Pro. I mean, starter's fine. You get your recommended AI transfers, which I love, but the fixture analyzer is great. You get all the stats as well. I don't often show stats in preseason videos, but I do think once you get into the season, especially, this stuff becomes so important. It can look a little bit daunting. It actually isn't once you get your head around it. One thing I like to do is just click on FPL here. There's an FPL tab, and it just these are all the stats from last year, but you can see who got the most bonus last year, or the most individual bonus points in the system. Bruno Fernandes. Who got the most bonus points? Haaland, but close with Fernandes. And then we have DEFCONs over here. So yesterday, as I said, I was looking at Shaw. I was trying to see if I could find Shaw on this list. He got 10 DEFCON points last year compared to Anderson at 52, and then we've got these centre backs way more, like Maguire as well, who remember wasn't in the team the entire season, got more than than Shaw. So, you know, 23 appearances, he got 16. Shaw with 38 appearances got 10. That's one of the reasons why I think, I mean, and that's just DEFCONs. We're not even talking about threat there. It's one of the reasons why I think Maguire is just a much better option than Shaw. But you see what I mean? Like being able to look at this and then you can compare like, you know, teams as well and see how well, you know, they did as a collective last season. It's just like, it's really important. And there's so much stuff in here. I don't even have to show all of it. There's loads of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I would just recommend going for the pro. It's just worth it, especially now in the season. It's literally the pro. What is that? Like, how much is it? £7.98 per month. Like you spend that on your like large frappuccino. So just get it done. Get it done. It's also 50% off right now as well. So get it done. Let's have a look at some more questions. Now we're going to be joined by another guest in just a few seconds. Let me just check that. Fergie is coming on in a second, so I'll invite him in. Before I do that, I'll just answer a few more questions in the live chat. Igor Jesus, EXP. I'm not sure what EXP is. I think Igor Jesus is a decent pick for the same reasons that I don't like Nick. What's his name? Gibbs White at the start of the season. Probably wouldn't go for Jesus. I'm gambling on Gakpo this game week. Do you think he's starting or any news with the Spurs? Well, that's the reason I wouldn't go for him is because I don't know. And none of us can really know. So I just think it's a little bit too risky. O'Reilly starts. Yes, I would expect O'Reilly to start for sure. I think he's a fantastic pick at 6.5 million. I've seen some quotes yesterday about him saying that he'd love to play in midfield or loves playing in midfield. He is a midfielder. It's important to remember. He's not a left back. He spent like all of his youth career playing in midfield. So that's where I think he feels the most comfortable. We know his goal threat from last year is absolutely ridiculous. What is riskier, no Haaland or no Bruno? Good question. Good question. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I would... What's riskier? I think they're both as risky as each other. I just think that Bruno is a better pick across the first couple of game weeks than Haaland. It's better value, and I'm going to captain Bruno in both the first two games. Doesn't mean that one is riskier than the other, but that's how I would say that. That's how I'd answer that question, to be fair. Let me try and get a new guest in, if possible. Right, let me just... I want to get Fergie in. Fergie won, not FPL, but he won Dream Team Fantasy a few years ago and won £75,000. Can you believe that? Pretty ridiculous. So it'd be good to get him in and see his thoughts. I think he is on a Haaland team as well. So that'll be interesting to hear his thoughts as to why he is on Haaland, or maybe he isn't anymore. I'm not 100% sure. A few more questions. I asked the Bruno Haaland as I feel like we were less nervous going Haaland over Salah last year. But wasn't that because we weren't as sure on Salah as well, or the fixtures weren't as good? I can't quite remember, to be honest with you. But it's interesting. Luke 09 or O'Neill for Sutherland to play 4 mil. I think maybe. I'm not sure I would go there necessarily. I think there are safer 4 millions. I couldn't say for sure that he's going to play. What Coventry attacker / midfielder would you choose? I don't know if I would, because they've signed a Wonyi. And I don't know necessarily who's going to start. There's Sims there as well. There are a couple of options. It's what's put me off the bench boost in Game Week 2 slightly, to be honest. Because I don't know. Brobby or Igor Jesus? I would go for Brobby. I would go for Brobby. Am I crazy for going Semenyo and Foden with no Haaland, even in Game Week 3? Yes. I think that is too risky. I do. Again, assess after a couple of game weeks. But I think that's really risky. We've got a donation. Isak or Thiago? Love your content. No Haaland. Well, I'm on Isak. It's what can you do with that extra million? Thiago was so safe last year and so good. I don't think that Brentford are going to get as many penalties as they did last year. I think they got 8. I would go for Isak personally, but again, What can you do with that extra million? Let's get Fergie in. Sorry, I've been holding Fergie for too long. Hello, my friend. Sorry about that. Right, Fergie is coming in. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Okay. Well, Fergie is in the call, but we're not sure if.
Hello, mates.
Hello, mates.
I can hear you. Sorry, I was just sorting out my settings. Speaker. 1 second. Give me one.
No rush.
Second.
No rush.
Sorry.
I also I need to give you I haven't done a. I need to give you your. I need to do a little. Write your name on so I can do the scenes properly as well. I know you can't see me at the moment, but that's absolutely fine. You don't need to see me. How's it all going?
Are we live, Jack? Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, we're live.
Oh, sorry. I do apologize, mate.
You're not. You're
really
not
good.
live. Your voice is live, but your face is not yet live.
A faceless character.
I'm not as good at streaming as you, so I actually find this quite challenging. To be honest.
No, it's all good. Amazing day. It's like Christmas Day, I think, isn't it? It's just we woke up this morning 5 o'clock like I was a 10-year-old.
Really?
With stockings and presents at the end, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So yeah, really exciting day, and yeah, just can't wait for it all to get started. It's been like a month, haven't it, since the game launched? I think almost a month to the day, like 4.5 weeks or something. It's just been so long and drawn out. I just can't wait for it all to get started because I've just got so many things in my head about Haaland or no Haaland and Enzo Lefebvre and Ballard and all these players. I can't get it out, so I'll be glad when the deadline's gone and I can just relax. So
yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm like messing up all my screens at the moment. There we go. That should be working.
Are we in?
Yeah, it was working anyway. I'm just not good at streaming. That's pretty much it. Just had your Twitter on screen. Well, I mean, it can stay on screen. If you guys want to go follow Fergie, there it is. Twitter's on screen right there. I like your banner as well. Get your team rated by AI in seconds. That's fantastic to see, Fergie.
Was that my one?
Yeah. That's your banner on Twitter.
Really? Oh, sorry. Sorry, on Twitter banner. I thought you meant YouTube then. Sorry.
No.
I'm a very inexperienced guest. I don't know if you can tell. I'm the only one sort of driving the conversation. I'm not used to answering questions, but yeah, super excited. How's your day going, Jack? I see the chat is going crazy. Loving it.
I really do enjoy streaming. It's like it's very different to recording. I'm not very good at it, I would say, because I just forget that you need to interact with chat quite a lot because that's the entire point. Like I don't know. It's definitely quite a different skill to what I normally do, which I obviously have not honed. You've done a lot of live streaming though, so you're obviously way better at it than me. What's the key to interacting with chat? Maybe I'll just let you take over. Do you want to just take over?
No, I can't. No. This is yours. I think it's just keep an eye on the chat all the time, and there's some really interesting points made, and I'm saying hello to people as well, like Joshua 3804 to say Green Arrow is my fave. I mean, why would I not read that out?
I know.
And Lewis Brennan, Fergie help last dilemma, Kinsey and Mbuemo versus Raya and Solis in his Haaland draft.
Ooh.
Oh, that is a tough one. I would say, who'd you say that? Kinsey and Mbuemo, Raya and Solis, double Arsenal. Who else have you got? It depends if you've got like a third Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't have, I think more Arsenal is good.
I think so. I think the first game against Coventry is really nice, but I think we forget as well that just how good they are and how good they were last week. I mean, they got Villa away, I think, in game week 2.
Yeah.
Villa, obviously, in a transition period, and Chelsea in game week 3. So I think that. I think we can count on Arsenal, and obviously Konsa's there now as well. He's going to be available at 4.5 million. Does that impact a sort of early wild card for you, Jack, or anything like that? Because Konsa 4.5 is going to break the game, right? What's your thinking on
that? Yes, I'd say it adds to the appeal of an early wild card for sure. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I don't know. Mosquera's been really good. So I don't know if Konsa's immediately going to come into the team. I don't know if you want to upset. Like, I mean, I think he will. Is the honest answer, obviously. And we've seen with Raya and Ramsdale, you know, when there's an upgrade to be made, Arteta just makes it.
I think so.
I was watching the Pep Guardiola documentary last night, Obsession. I don't know if you've seen any of that. It's unbelievable. It just shows how cutthroat the sport is at such a granular level, which I think is like amazing to see. And sometimes we forget like how brutal and cutthroat the sport is. And there's stuff in there about players not being selected. There's a big thing in the first episode about Kyle Walker leaving or requesting to leave City halfway through the season when they were doing really badly in 24-25. Wow. And that the reaction to that is very, very strong. I suppose the point being that like there's not much like relationships can change pretty quickly between managers, players, etc. I mean, I'm sure Mosquera is loved by Arteta, but if there's a better option and Konsa comes in, I think he might just go straight in, despite what I just said.
I think so. I don't think you pay. I don't think you pay 50 million for a 28-year-old defender, and then just leave him on the bench. I mean, Mosquera, I think, is good and he's done a job, but he's very much a back. But at the moment, he's young, right? And you know, he's come in. He did a job at the end of last year at right back, and he's done a job. Well, first for sort of, you know, the game of the season. I expect he'll play on the weekend, but I'd be very surprised from game week 2 onwards if Konsa's on the bench, because Arteta as well with his centre backs, he doesn't bring them on a sub, right? He's not going to bring off Mosquera and give Konsa minutes a game week 2 or 3 or vice versa. I think it'll be Konsa and Gabriel from sort of game week 2, maybe game week 3 onwards, and that'll just be it until Saliba's back, you know, because they have got, you know, League Cup and Champions League, which they may do a bit of rotation in, but I just can't see them spend all that money on Konsa just to put him on the bench. So I think a 4.5 million is going to be in everyone's team, and and really help unlock wild cards, you know, as well as the other bargains we're going to find along the way. You know, we're probably going to find some 4 million DEFCON monsters, potentially a 4 million starting keeper, things like that. So I
agree. It's just such a big upgrade to be able to not play Gabriel in every game as well. Like when all 4 of them are fit, to be able to give Gabriel rests, which he didn't get last year at all. That is absolutely massive, because Saliba was the one that was getting those rests because he needed them. But to be able to rest both your centre backs in, like, you know, easy Champions League games or maybe even League Cup games or whatever, FA Cup games, it's a big thing. Do you want to build your team, Fergie? Can we talk about your team?
We can. I've been tossing and turning, but I think I'm nearly there now.
Right.
I think I'm only a player. I've got a dilemma over a player or two, but I've gone for it. I didn't think I would. I thought I'm going to play really template and sensibly this year, but I'm not. I'm going for it.
Really? Well, good, because last year you went aggressive, and you tweeted that next year you think everyone's going to go aggressive, and a lot of people are. I mean, the vast majority of engaged managers, are bench boosting in game week 1 or game week 2, I would say. Well, at least the ones in our bubble on YouTube, you know, Twitter. Maybe that's actually a little not actually accurate, but it feels that way.
I think it's interesting the bench boost game week 1, because I think, to me, and everyone thinks differently on these things. I also think it's a personality thing, and not just a sort of objective pointing as well. It's like, I really like not having to think about my bench boost every week come game week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because I do think, whether we like to admit to ourselves or not, you've always got the bench boost back in mind. And I think some transfers are then driven towards a bench boost instead of kind of optimizing your team. That's a personal view. And I would also say, with my playing personality, I like to try and get off to a good start and then just settle in for the long haul. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but what I would say is, this is the only game week you're going to have in a whole season where you can effectively play a wild card and a bench boost in the same week, right? So I'm not a fan of bench boost 2, because the transfer window closes. So I think we're going to see a lot of movement next week, which may directly or indirectly affect certain players. Brighton are playing in Europe again. There's League Cup action for non-European teams in the middle of next week. And you know, a lot of people are banking on Coventry against Hull, which, you know, looks decent fixture, but you know, not a big fan. I think after Gameweek 2 onwards, you're almost having to tinker with your team every week to get to that optimal sort of bench all the time. So I like to play it. I'll be playing it definitely this time around. And yeah, it's just the players to squeeze into it. So, well, here's a hint with my first player, if you want, of what strategy I'll be going down. But my first player,
yeah, go for it.
David Raya.
I'll be honest with you. That doesn't actually give me as much of a hint as.
Really?
Well,
that's interesting.
What okay, what in terms of the hint of strategy or players? Yeah, it doesn't.
We can work it out as we go.
It doesn't
through.
because
that's interesting. Okay.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. I think having Raya and Haaland is something that I've not seen that much. Because I think if you have Haaland, a lot of people have the rotating 4.5 if they're going to go early on a bench boost.
Okay.
Now I don't know who your backup's going to be. Can you tell me your backup keeper?
Yeah, sure. That's Kinski. I think that I thoroughly expect Spurs to improve. And,
you are a Spurs fan?
I am a Spurs fan. I expect him to improve massively, both at the back and going forward. And I think he's also a fantastic shot stopper as well. So, yeah, I prefer him over Verbruggen. I know Brighton performed really well defensively last year, but I just think Spurs will improve. And yeah, I'm going with Kinski.
Over 800 of you in here. Thank you very much for joining. Before we carry on with
now, mate.
Is it 900? Wow.
920.
I was just thinking, like, if I was in like an auditorium and there were 900 people watching me, I'd be absolutely shitting myself because I'm in my room with no one else. It's fine. It's like the video with Ben is you know, it's on about 85,000 views or something like that.
Goodness,
it's like we're filling out Wembley with some of these videos, but it's just so weird because it's, you know, you're just in your room on your own. Well, I'm with you, Fergie, but you know,
of course,
physically not with you, sadly. Before we you know, get into your defenders, I just want to say that now is the time to go and get your team rated for free. You've got to do it right now. You have to do it now because you know, we're 4 hours out, under 4 hours from deadline. Again, it's completely free to do. The link is down below in the description to do that, or pinned in the live chat. But then also at this stage of the season, you need to be signed up to Fantasy Football Hub. Before you came on, Fergie, we had people asking about which subscription to go for. Pro for me is the one that you've got to go for to get everything.
Pro all day, yeah. Pro's the best one. You get the most value. Our Ultra service is absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend that.
Yeah.
But in terms of your sort of day-to-day, Pro is by far the best. It gets you, you know, the full functionality of the whole site. You know, looks after you all season. Incredible experience as well with live mode and things, as well as sort of, you know, the full power of the AI, but also into our huge community, WhatsApp community. You know, we've got thousands and thousands of people in these groups, all chatting FPL all day and all night. You know, absolutely love it. They absolutely love it, and yeah, it's just an absolute no-brainer. I mean, we're closing in on nearly 1 million members now at Fantasy Football Hub, which is like,
wow,
yeah, it's like 10% of the whole,
you
know, of the whole playing FPL world. So I mean, if you're not part of it, you're just absolutely missing out. And yeah, and the new app now. Well, I'm actually sat opposite two of our engineers who've made it happen.
Get them on.
Massive big F. I'll show you. I'll see if I can spin my.
No, you don't have to really.
No, I won't. But I'll see if I can spin it really, really quickly. Like, it's a bit.
You have to turn off the blurred background. No, do it. Turn off the blurred background, Fergie.
I'll see if I can turn off the blurred background. Now.
You've got a nice wall behind you anyway. I think
it is. Let me see if I can turn off the blurred background.
Yeah, but Fergie mentioning there about the live mode, something I haven't mentioned too much, but I'm really excited for that this evening. Here we go.
This is my daughter, Holly, by the way.
Oh, hello, Holly.
We're going to be absolutely mortified. Holly's been working with us over the summer.
Wow.
And these three legends by here, who you can see, we've got Harry, Dunstan, and Joe, who have all done a massive, incredible job on building a new app. So yeah, the app is absolutely insane, lightning quick. And yeah, if you haven't signed up, what you're doing, like literally a million people are now using Fantasy Football Hub. So get on it.
I think the main thing that I keep saying is like, you may be like, oh, I don't want to use these tools. I back myself as a manager, which is fine. But I think now in 2026, based on what Fergie's just said there, if you're not using these tools, then you are just at such a disadvantage to people in your mini leagues who are more likely to beat you because they are using these tools. So why would you put yourself at a disadvantage?
There is that, but I also think it actually helps you enjoy the game more as well, because Fantasy Football Hub it's not just a place to go and go sort of once a week and look at your transfer and then go. I mean, you can if you like, right? You can do that if you want. But all the sort of stats we've got, the feature we've got, the whole Fantasy Football Hub community is absolutely massive. We've got this new live mode now that will transform your weekend. So when you're sort of, sat on a Saturday afternoon between 3 and 6 o'clock, and you're watching your Sky Sports news, or you're looking on your phone at all these apps, and you have to go to all different places to get all different information. Go to Fantasy Football Hub, and it's all there. You literally just have it sort of sat in front of you. Put it on your TV and just watch it rolling. And it's also lightning fast as well. So you'd be the first to know when any goals have got in, and also how it impacts your FPL points and live rank. It's not just about the AI. It's obviously a massive part of it, but it's just the whole experience. Just the transformation of your weekend into just really enjoying FPL. Anyway, enough.
I'm excited about live. I'm really excited about live. Mate. This is the thing. Like sometimes I get accused of pushing stuff too hard. I'm not even necessarily pushing. I just don't like. I tell my friends about this.
Exactly.
Because and like this is not in a video. I just say like, yeah, it's like class. So yeah, it's not even necessary. I mean, I know obviously we're at Fantasy Football Hub, but I would also say before I worked for Fantasy Football Hub, I would say, yeah, I use it because it's great. Anyway, let's do your team. Because I want to get into your strategy, and then player conundrums will come up as you go. Run me through your whole defense.
So my whole defense, I have gone for Calafiori.
Yeah.
I think after watching him last weekend, oh my goodness, he just looks incredibly dangerous. I think he's going to start this evening, and I fancy him for attacking returns. And
he's good looking, and he's a good looking man as well. So you can fancy him for that reason.
His hair, mate, it's just superb. I've also gone for Harry Maguire, who is not as good looking as Calafiori, but he's got the forehead the size of an iPhone 16 Max, and I fancy Bruno Fernandes to find it a few times this season. And he's got the potential for DEFCONs as well, haven't he? Exactly. That's it. Look like
that's the 16 Pro. So I'm not. I think I mean, I've got quite a large forehead myself.
And by the way, I'm not saying that as a slight. I'm saying it.
Yeah, good thing.
He's got such a huge target, right?
Yeah.
He's absolutely brilliant in the air. So I like Maguire, and I think he's worth the extra $5 million over Luke Shaw. I have also. So I'll put the boring one in. I'll put the fifth one in. I'm going for Leif Davis.
Yeah.
So I think it's between sort of O'Shea and a couple of others, but I do like his attacking upside, and I think he's got a chance this weekend of something. My fourth one is Nico O'Reilly.
Yeah, nice.
Who I think honestly has got the potential this season to just almost break the game.
Yeah,
in terms of like watching the positions he took up from left back in the Community Shield. He's basically playing in a 10 half the time. When City have the ball, which they're going to have most of the time, he's in the 10. He was up there. He was in the box. And while it may not happen immediately, obviously it's not going to happen every game. Just that dual sort of potency and potential of defensive returns as well as attacking is super exciting. So I think there's maybe a slight risk with minutes. I can't see him playing sort of every game. But I really like him. And then I've got 5 million slot. Then I'm a touch stuck. It's currently on Ballard, but
there's some good options there.
Yeah, I've switched it actually. I've gone for Nico Williams. So
yeah,
I think that players like Ballard, and I'm gonna butcher this name, but Muharimovic of Leeds are good options. But I just really like the attacking upside of Nico Williams, and I think he was taking some corners in pre-season. He was, and if this whole sort of Glasner narrative plays out in terms of him being his Munoz, I think he could have a hell of a season at 5 million. I think if Munoz was 5 million last season, he would have been in everyone's team, and basically we've kind of looking to get that with Nico. So I'm very aware that I haven't got much depth competence at the back, but I'm probably playing an early wild card anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good with that.
I saw an interesting tweet on Williams, which I apologize, I don't know who it was from, but it made me go for Ballard because.
Oh, what?
Yeah, do you want to know why?
Like
because Williams had twice as many shots as Munoz last year.
Oh, it made you go to Williams?
No.
Or away from Williams?
Yeah. Because the tweet said that Williams... I'm actually going to check this because this better be right. Imagine this is wrong now. Let me just go on the stats. Right, I'm going to compare. What I'm going to do on the stats player comparison. We're going to do Williams versus Munoz of last season, and I just want to have a look at how do I get last season? Sorry,
yeah.
Just want to have a look at shots. Can I do shots in here?
Can't see. I've got my lenses in. I can't.
Sorry.
Actually, it's a bit small on my screen.
Goals got XG. I might have to go in the. This is honestly, this is so worth doing. By the way, what I'm about to do. I'm just going to do it in here instead. Right. Neco Williams. Remember this. 46 shots last year. Okay.
Wow.
That's the wrong button. Munoz. 27 shots last year. Now, the point that this tweet was making, which I thought was a good one, was Williams already has a lot of shots. Now, they're not as great chances as Munoz, which is the counterpoint to this. But the point was that Williams already has a lot of shots, decent number of chances, and his output was pretty poor. He scored twice. Does he? As in he's just a worse finisher than Munoz was the point. So it doesn't matter if he's getting more chances or the same number of shots. He's not as good at actually scoring goals than Munoz, and I think that's a fair point. Munoz is a very good actual goal scorer. So he had 4 big chances last year. Munoz, how many did Williams have? I don't imagine he had that. He had 2 big chances. So 1.97 xG last year. But yeah, 2 big chances. You'd expect that to increase. But did you get the point of the tweet?
I do. I do. I would just say though that it sounds like Williams was taking shots from everywhere, right? It sounds like he was pot shotting. Whereas if he's playing in that Munoz role, because if you think of Munoz's goals, it's more the position he took up. In kind of that sort of inside right of the box and right at the back post. And if Williams is going to be doing that rather than taking the pot shot, I take your point, but I think my narrative, which I would like to spin, is
sorry, I definitely have spun one there.
No. Sorry, I'm not saying.
No, I know. It's the way you interpret stuff. Yeah.
In terms of the narrative, how I see it is what I should say. I think if Williams is taking up the same positions as Munoz, bear in mind, Forest weren't a good team last year. They very nearly got relegated, and they were in Europe as well.
Yeah.
And they've got no Europe. They've got an insane manager who's proven won things, plays a very, very settled team. And I just think if Williams can get in the same positions as Munoz, which he'll probably or hopefully encourage him to, I fancy Williams to get a lot more attacking returns, basically.
Yeah.
But I understand the tweet, I understand the point. I just feel sometimes that each person, like what we all individually have to take out of it, sort of how we feel about it moving forward. Because I'm also I'm personally a huge believer in trying to predict what's going to happen as well. You can use data, absolutely, but I would say that Forest under Glasner, I think they've got some fantastic players. Forest, I really do think they've got some really good players, and I think Glasner can really turn them into a top team, a sort of top 8 or 10 team instead of the instead of where they finished last year, like 17th or 16th or whatever it was. But like I say, each their own. But I fancy Williams, and I would rather chase the potential upside of Williams for a game or two than potentially chase a few DEFCONs off, players like Ballard. But again, each their own, and it's how we play, right?
Well, the thing with Ballard, I would say, is that it's just like goal threat. And that's what I quite like. Just like actual real my own narrative. It's more like of a real goal threat than a Williams. But
that's a fair point.
I don't know. Over 1,000 of you in the live chat right now. 1,100 of you, in fact. If you could could just drop a like. I don't know if this helps, Fergie, but if you could just drop a like on the live stream.
Please do.
Get your comments in, by the way, as well. I mean, phenomenal comment that I can just see there from Vindy, who says, Fergie without glasses feels like Ant without deck. Does that resonate with you?
Oh, do you know what? All it is that where we're working today in London, there's a pool table. And whenever I play pool with Will or any of the work guys and I wear my glasses, I can't see. So I either have to like turn them upside down like Dennis Taylor, which I'm not a fan of doing, or take them off. And when I take them off, I can't see. So I was chatting last night with one of our engineers, Max, and he was bigging himself up and sort of challenging me to a game of pool. So I actually wore contact lenses today just to play Max and a couple of the other guys in pool. So that's it. So that's the reason why. So, but yeah, I normally wear glasses.
I want to come to the office now.
Shouldn't, mate? It's really, really nice. It's a really good office. We got a great crowd. There's like 21 of us here, I think. And
I actually would come.
Table and pizza and beers. And how was your ankle, by the way? Sorry, I saw your message.
So annoying. I sprained my foot. Like, it's the same injury I've done before. I just need to, because I'm doing a marathon quite soon. I just need to rest it like properly. These next, because I did it before and I was out for like a couple of months, and I'm meant to be running a marathon in 2 months, so I just can't do that. So I'm just gonna watch it.
Can't be on the dance floor later, then, Jack. No.
Well, that's the risk, and I can't trust myself not to do that if I come. So yeah,
get the breakdancing moves out.
I know.
You can't.
It's annoying as well. I literally am. I am 8 minutes away on the train from Vauxhall. I could not.
Really?
I live in Battersea. I couldn't be. I was like a 5-minute walk from Clapham Junction. So not to give my address out, but I could not be closer.
You're gonna be knocking your door, Jack, at 7:30.
Exactly. Yeah. What's your team rated?
Exactly.
Kurt says Ballard's in my team and was banked from first draft, which is.
You know what? I think you have taught me into Ballard, and I think that I really like those opening fixtures for Sunderland. I really do, and he scored. Did he score Gameweek 1 last year or the year before?
Yeah.
He scored got like a 15-pointer.
Yeah, he did. And then he got injured.
I like that. I might go Williams to Ballard. I think actually I'm going to change it now.
It gives you more flexibility game week 2 as well. I don't know what you're. Sorry, I know we're going slowly through your team, but it's interesting conversation. It gives you.
I've actually got it in the app still. So if you haven't seen the app, if anyone hasn't seen the app, oh my goodness, Fantasy Football Hub app. You can, I got 96% rating in game week 1 here with Ballard in.
Oh, wow.
I haven't taken him out. And then when I go to game week 2, sorry, I'm spoiling the reveal.
It's fine.
I got 95%, 95% for game week 2 and 90% for game week 3.
Oh, really? 90% game week 3 is very strong.
Flying, mate.
That's good. That's good. Paul Smith has just joined as an Ultra member.
Paul Smith, you're an absolute legend. If you're an Ultra, if you haven't looked at the Ultra product, I mean, for anyone who watches Green Arrow, they will know Rich, who is was and still is. He was the world's #1 manager before Ben Crellin. He is still one of the very best managers in the world.
His video did very well, by the way. Very well for views. People love that video.
He's fantastic.
He speaks so well.
And he runs the Ultra product. So he gives personalized advice to our ultras. He runs sort of monthly Zooms, chats 1-to-1 with people. So again, it's not just about the tech and the AI, even though that's a huge part of who we are, Fantasy Football Hub. It's that personalization, conversation, community. You get to speak to Rich Clark every month, on like a monthly Zoom call. He'll review your team for you every month, like personalized. And this is what we offer at the Hub, and it's an absolutely sensational service. A little bit more expensive, obviously, because you're paying for Rich's time, right? But Rich is one of the best ever managers and coaches. This is his full-time job with us here. So I would encourage it if you fancy that sort of level of engagement and interaction.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with that. Let's get into your midfield then. One thing on O'Reilly is just because I like if they have Gvardiol, Gahey, Diaz, and Kuzanov, and I think Kuzanov showed in that Community Shield that he can't play right back. Then that's unless they drop Diaz or unless they drop Gahey. Are they going to drop Gvardiol? Like that left back slot, surely there's going to be a touch of rotation. Maybe not because O'Reilly's so good. Maybe they just rotate the centre backs. But that's like a lot of like top centre backs for 2 slots if that's what they're going to do.
I completely agree, and it's something I thought a lot about. But let's not forget. I know O'Reilly played at left back. Community Shield. He can also play midfield,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it looks like Gonzalez maybe sort of on the way out. Kovacic is, even though he's a good player, I actually rate him as a good player. He's not the future of the team, right? O'Reilly is the future of the team. I just can't see I think he'll miss the odd game. I think he'll be resting the odd game, O'Reilly. But then I think lots of pick will, particularly when the Champions League starts up. But the upside of O'Reilly is just insane. Like how many defenders can you say have got a reasonable chance of an attacking return or 2 and a clean sheet in what looks to be one of the best defenses now in the league. So I think if he doesn't play left back, he's got as good a chance as anyone that's playing in midfield. And if he does get the odd rest, he gets the odd rest. And hopefully he gets a complete rest and you get someone off the bench. But I think he starts Gameweek 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Question from Texu says, do you think that the bench boost for Gameweek 1 is a mistake? Let's hold off on that because I want to finish your team first and then we'll see if you are bench boosting in Gameweek 1. Who have you got in midfield?
I'll start with the highest. Obviously, got Bruno Fernandes. So I didn't have him for large part of last year, and he just, goodness, he punished me.
Yeah.
He's just he's the punisher. Any attack in return, bonus, DEFCON, the lot, and I'm not going without him this year. He just hurt me, punished me. I thoroughly expect him to do well in the opening 2 against Hull and Ipswich as well, which is what this team is kind of aimed at. And he's in. And I'm partnered up with his teammate Brian Mbomo as well. So I just feel again for these opening 2. I know Sesko, I think he might be back in training. I can't see him playing Gameweek 1. I can't see him start. He may start Gameweek 2, but I think Mbuemo, obviously apart from last week, didn't play, but he's had lots of minutes in pre-season, scored a goal, had the penalty, which that sort of Bruno will have. But I just like to target these opening 2 fixtures, and I think these fixtures are as good as they get. So I'm going for Mbuemo. I'm pretty sure on that.
I agree with that. I think he's the most nailed of the Man United attackers outside of Bruno.
I think so.
I think he could also play in all 3 of those positions, and I think he's just the most solid of all the picks. And I think doubling up on Man United attack makes sense.
Agree. I'm going for Szoboszlai, which
boring.
I know. I'm just not totally sold on Szoboszlai, but I would say that one of my learnings from last year was looking at these players like Anderson, Rice, and Szoboszlai, and just seeing how many points they scored. And Szoboszlai, he's on set pieces, outside chance of penalties. I probably think Isak will be on penalties, but I don't think Isak will play sort of 90 every week as well, whereas Szoboszlai does. So even there is a penalty after 80 minutes, I think the Szoboszlai sort of may get that. Like how many times last year did Salah and Bruno score in especially at the start of the season, the 94th minute, 95th minute, like last minute penalty, all this stuff. So I think with Szoboszlai, it's just set and forget. And I don't think he'll be sort of massively explosive, but even if he gets, like 10, 2, 4, 8, I think the 7 million is reasonable. So that's why I'm going for him. These next 2 aren't boring, I would say.
Okay.
I'm going for Solid.
Oh, nice.
I think that, yeah.
By the way, I have Szoboszlai myself, but I feel the exact same way as you. Like everything you just said, I completely like. That's why he's in my team, despite the fact that I don't necessarily want to have a player like him. but he's in for everything you just said. Solis is interesting. His ownership is creeping up and up. Let's have a look at it right now. It was like 19% yesterday. It doesn't surprise me to see it's at 23.5. I'll be above 25, I reckon, by the deadline.
Yeah, I think so. But I think it'd be justified. He's obviously a punt, but I nearly said on Green Arrow, but I held back because I didn't want to be ridiculed. But look at how Salah introduced himself, and I'm not saying it's the same, right? Because he hasn't scored lots of goals in pre-season. He scored one. He's got loads of assists, but he just seems to have so much potential, and he's so cheap. And his stats from last year, he had 50 attacking returns across all competitions, internationals last year. Ridiculous record. Something like, I'll get it wrong now, but something like 22 goals and 28 assists or something. And with the players around him, I think he's nailed at the moment again for the first sort of two. You can see, but I think for a piece of the Arsenal attack at 6.5 million, he looks really good, and I really fancy him to make a massive impact at Arsenal for what I've seen, and he gets back as well, which I think players starting on the left, players like Martinelli and Trossard and stuff haven't really done that. You could see it last week, so you can tell the manager and the fans and the teammates are going to love him. And then when they got forward, he was always there again. So I just think with all those things in mind, for 6.5 million, he's worth a punt. I've looked at other players. I've obviously looked at players like Sharda and Liffe, and I think they're all really, really good picks. But then I've kind of gone back to the fact that to sort of go with the teams who score the most goals, and that's why I've gone with Arsenal, who I expect to win reasonably comfortably this evening.
Yeah, that's your triple up. I like it. I think there's a stat like he's had a goal involvement in his last 19 games consecutively. Solis.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
I think it includes friendlies, includes the Community Shield, but the vast majority of those are assists. But yeah, still 19 in a row. I mean, it's absolutely insane. A couple of questions on Szoboszlai. ELFC says that Shobo won't be playing 90 every week either, which I would like a bit more information. I'd like the fact that you have LFC in your name leads me to believe you're a Liverpool fan. If you can give us a bit more information on that, I would have thought that Shobo would be pretty nailed on for like, more minutes than anyone else in midfield. I can imagine Wirtz coming off earlier. McAllister, I don't know if he's ready to play. I don't know about this hair transplant thing, but I imagine that Shobo would go higher up the pitch when Wirtz comes off. And yeah, someone else, Offside Footy, says, what are your thoughts for not going for Wirtz? Do you reckon he won't be attacking enough? And Shobo at the deep would get enough chances? And that's answered by, well, for me personally, it's answered by the next comment from Kayfabe King, who says, Wirtz's form just doesn't look right. Jack's been critical of him for last year and this pre-season for good reason. Wait on him, not worth the risk until if he gets in form. That's my answer to that question. Spot on. What's your answer?
I think for me it's more the minutes. So I'm trying to go for people who I think are going to get lots of minutes on the pitch. And I think with Wirtz, I can just see a 75-minute sub every week. And lots of times with Liverpool and the way they play, they can score lots of goals towards the end of games as well. So like, it's what I mean about players like Salah last year, Bruno last year, and these players, which what kind of why I like going for sort of 90-minute players or 80+ minute players is those goals at the end of games. And I think if Wirtz for 90 minutes, man, I'd go for Wirtz. But I can see him getting hauled off 65, 70, 75 nearly every week. And then Szoboszlai just picking up the pieces. So that's my reason. And we maybe probably got a new manager, maybe new system. We don't really know. But I think the Wirtz will do well. But I do think that Szoboszlai will probably outscore him over the season, and I don't want too many minutes risk punts within my team. I think Mbeumo is a potential minutes risk at some point after the first two.
Okay.
But other than that, I think nearly everyone else have gone for reasonably nailed. Calafiori has got like incredibly high upside. Just hoping we don't get that 59th minute sub, but
I don't think it's going
to happen. The way he played last week, I can't see it. I mean, it would just, it was probably planned, right? We'll give.
I would have done that if I was the manager and we were winning, but like we were winning. It makes sense. I'm not going to play 90 minutes.
Take off the star men, right? Hopefully, again, it depends what narrative you want. Mine is take off the talisman for the team for this season, take off the star man, rest him for next week.
Yeah, interesting. Good context given by ELFC 17 in the live chat if you guys want to read that, which I do agree with a lot of that. Makes sense. I just need to see it first personally with Florian Wirtz. JME LAWR says, isn't Solis exactly that kind of player though, in terms of coming off early, newer to the league?
I don't think so. I think he played 80 or 90 last week.
He played the full game, I think. Yeah,
he may get 75-80, and that's a fair challenge. And I just feel from what I've seen, he's got the potential to be a bit of a superstar. And I keep going back to Enzo Lefebvre. I can't help it because Enzo Lefebvre is a 90-minute penalty taker on set pieces, and I can't get away from that. I think that Lefebvre is going to be good, but again, who do I think are going to score more goals? Arsenal, Sunderland, because after the first two for Sunderland as well, I think their fixtures go quite hard as well.
They do.
I think they got some 3 or 4 really tough games.
One of the reasons why I'm not too keen on Brobby. They're right at the bottom of the fixture ticker.
Yeah,
yes. It's Brentford away and then Arsenal at home, City away. So I mean, if you're gonna some people might want a free hit Gameweek. It's really the first two, and then after that, it's
the first two. Yeah, I think you're a wild card in 3 or 4. Then it's okay. This is kind of where I'm a bit like that with Ballard as well. But no, it's a good point on Solis, and I would say it's probably the biggest sort of punt within my team.
Although I agree with that retort from the casual gaffer who says, as an Arsenal fan, I'm not sure who we'd bring on for Solis.
Yeah,
we seem to be actively pushing for Martinelli out, and there's no other left winger right now. Which I was thinking the exact same thing. It does make sense, and he played the full game. So yeah. We've got a super chat. Palestra or Gvardiol? What do you guys think? That's an easy one, I think, for me.
Really? It's not for me. I think what you said earlier, I think you're pretty high on Gvardiol. I think you think he's nailed. Just on what you said earlier. I'm not so sure. And
yeah, you know what? You're right. I take it back. Not easy.
I think that Palestra has got as much chance of as many minutes as Gvardiol over the opening few games. But Palestra is playing in this ridiculous attacking position. So I think you can afford to wait and see, because I think the fixtures improve in game week 4. I personally wouldn't pick either of them yet. At the start, I think there's far more nailed options personally. But if I was to pick of the two, I think I'd be more tempted by Palestra. I think Palestra may get more minutes than Gvardiol in the opening 3, but again, we're not sure.
It's weird. My initial reaction was Gvardiol, easy, but taking a few seconds to think about it. What you just said there.
You said yourself earlier, they got O'Reilly, they've got Ignori,
they've got
Katie, they've got Kuchnov, they've got Ruben Diaz, they've got all these players. I'm just not 100% sure that he starts every single game. Whereas Palestra, I think, has a bit more chance, and obviously has potential huge attacking upside. But I would avoid both personally.
Who's your last midfielder?
Antoine Semenyo.
Wow.
Indeed.
I've got him as well at the moment. So
I'm happy. Really?
Yeah. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, I think there's so much value in midfield that I'm finding it really, really tough. I've been racking my brain for the last 2 weeks. My head has been hurting with the whole sort of Haaland, no Haaland thing, and we'll go into it.
Well,
more
you don't have him. You don't have him.
There's just so many amazing midfielders in terms of value, but then I just can't get away from these top teams. Their midfielders are fantastic, and there's just so many incredible value options, but they just don't score as many goals as these bigger teams. So anyway, I'll touch on it. I'll try and be a bit more articulate when we get to the forward spots. But yeah,
let's go to the forwards now. 21.5 million, which means that if you okay, so
you got it.
You've got Thiago.
Indeed,
Wow.
he's
Okay.
in. He's in. So
I assume
I
that's the
think
front three.
that, yeah. So João Pedro and Calvert-Lewin, I think, speak for themselves. I don't think we do too much there. But
Yeah.
the Thiago move. So last year, if you remember, Jack, I went without Salah, and I covered
Yes.
him
Yeah.
with it was actually Ekitike, Wirtz, and Gakpo. It was all three for that opening game, and that worked out incredibly well. Even though Salah scored, that worked out incredibly well.
Yeah.
There was no captaincy alternative that day. I think I actually captained Wirtz, and he blanked. If I'd have captained Gakpo, I'd have been absolutely flying. I'd be like in the
Yeah.
top 5K or something. But I think with O'Reilly and Semenyo, I think that Haaland is going to do well. But I'm stuck with players then like Aya and Hume and these players who I think can do well, but I much prefer proven players from top teams. And I think that if an O'Reilly and Semenyo between them, they can cover Haaland. Not forgetting Thiago in his own right is a fantastic pick.
Yeah.
They've looked really sharp in pre-season. Again, another 90-minute man on penalties. He can score hat tricks, right? We've seen it. But what it gives me then in terms of being able to have Semenyo and Buemo, Soboslai, Solis, huge defense as well. I think for the opening 2 weeks at least, I'm going for it. And Haaland may go and score a brace in the first week, and I may fall behind. But I was writing my article for the Hub this morning, and I put down my Haaland team, and then as I was writing the commentary around it, I was saying, but I also really like, and I actually prefer this team. As I was writing it, I was thinking, and I even wrote, is it like heart versus head? I just think
Yeah.
that there's enough there to go without Haaland. Now, in game week 3, there's the potential that I can take out Bruno Fernandes and Thiago.
Oh, I want to do this. I want to. Can we hold this?
Let's do it.
I want to see your team. That's a really good, really interesting point you made, because as I was writing my like team reveal article, and I messaged Ollie, our editor, saying, "Here's my team reveal," and then like immediately I was like, "No, I need to change this because of what I've just written in it." So then I just said, "Sorry, I've got to change." He's managed to put it together. So sorry, Ollie, about that. But yeah, it's weird when it's strange how like talking things through with other people and writing it out yourself makes you second guess things. Okay, 95% team rating, Fergie. 63.8 predicted points. That is more than you had when you came on before. You had a 93%.
Get that bench boost on.
All right, I'll get the bench boost on.
Come on.
I assume you're bench boosting Gameweek 1. You've gone for Kinski. That's not.
Yeah, I think so. Who would you prefer?
I've got Verbruggen. But you're a Tottenham fan.
Yeah. 77 points. Come on.
Davis is quite low on predictions compared to other Ipswich defenders. Does that make you worry at all? Just looking at the others. O'Shea's up at 3.9.
I think the two spots there which I may change. Kinski, Verbruggen potentially, and Williams and Ballard. But I think Leif Davis has just got massive upside potential. It's 1 week only, 4 million. He'll sit on the bench then. So I think if we went Williams and Kinski to Verbruggen and Ballard, those points may go up sort of 1 or 2 more. But I think on Davis, it's boom or bust, right? He'll either get sort of 1 point, or I think he's had potential to get sort of 9 or 12 or something. So I'm willing to take a punt on him.
Got a few questions in the chat which are interesting. A question from earlier which I noted was if Sunderland's fixtures are so good, the first 2, which they are, and you're looking to wildcard or get out of this team early, is there any debate about going for Brobby over Calvert-Lewin for the first 2? For me, no. I just think Calvert-Lewin's just a better option.
He's not on pens, is he? Whereas Calvert-Lewin is on pens. I'm a bit of a pen. I know I've said the word pen about 100 times this last 45 minutes or so, but I do like players who are on pens.
Yeah.
And Calvert-Lewin, 90-minute penalties. I prefer it. Yeah.
Why are Kinski's points, predicted points, so low? Is a fair question.
It is a fair question.
Interestingly, if I sort by like I'll do it on here actually, it's just much nicer to look at. If I go on player points predictions, goalkeepers under 5 million first 4 game weeks, you'll see like a lot of them, like they're not like super high. But Bruggen's is I guess higher. I would have Kinski's points slightly higher, I think, than they are here, but not by a lot. I mean, it depends. Like, but you have to go based on last season for Spurs with these predicted points, and their numbers were awful.
They were. But looking at that, I might go for Bruggen, based on that, and based on what you said as well. They kept a clean sheet last night as well, and I think Brighton's like, was it the XGC or number of clean sheets last season was like 4th best in the league or something crazy like that. So I might go for Bruggen based on that, actually, based on all those factors. So yeah, thanks for that chat, and thanks for that, Jack.
There you go. Look at that. I mean, it's very, very close to being second as well. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is the beauty of having the Opta stats right there. Defensively, Brighton were the 4th best in terms of the underlying numbers, above Man City, which is like quite ridiculous.
Mental.
And like just 1.5 expected goals conceded away from being the second best team in the league. And I think this is important as well, because I keep forgetting this. Clean sheets last year were actually decent for Brighton, because in my head they're like a good underlying team, but they never actually keep clean sheets. Whereas 10 is decent. It's fine. It's above a lot of solid teams really in the league. And it could still be better, to be fair. It's actually not as good as I thought it was, but it's better than, in my head they are like a 6 to 7 clean sheet side, but then last year was an improvement, especially the second half of last year, if I remember correctly. So yes, there we go. So then there's your team. There's your team, and I like it a lot. You would bench boost in game week 1. Game week 2, when I do this, is looking really strong. You have a bit of a benching headache game week 2, which I'm sure you've considered.
Yeah. Again, I have to look at my phone. Sorry, Jack.
Sorry. Well, it's between it's Solis who's playing Villa away, and Thiago is playing Leeds away. I think it comes down to those two. I think you probably have to bench Solis, really. I mean, who knows? You could get an injury or something.
Yeah, I could get an injury, or you get to see obviously how everyone plays the game, how dangerous they look and things. So I'm happy. I'd rather have a benching headache than have to make a transfer. So yeah. I'm fine with that. I'm really hoping to save obviously game week 2 and look to go into game week 3 now.
I think looking at this is the reason why I have gone for Ballard over Williams, because if Calafiori does come off early, and we're not sure, or like say O'Reilly's.
I think I go for Ballard, and
I don't know. It's just a little bit.
I think I am
a little bit, because Williams has Liverpool away. You obviously don't want to play him. Then game week 3. I know I've wasted a bit of time here in terms of, it's been a while since you said what your plan, when I interrupted you saying what your plan was going to be in game week 3, but I want to hear now what you were going to say.
Well, it's not so much a plan. I think it's
what you could do.
I think it's having options. It's having options. Obviously, I could go without Haaland. If City are really not looking at it, and I've had a good couple of opening game weeks. If City look poor, I've got the opportunity here to not go with Haaland and still have an incredibly strong team. I could free hit, I could wild card.
Yeah.
Or there's also the option here to do I think it's Bruno and Thiago, which I wouldn't like to do, but Bruno and Thiago out for Haaland and a 4.5.
Yeah.
Which gives me triple Man City, and again a really, really strong team. So that's 93% going into game week 3, using the 2 free transfers. Still got players I could play if I wanted to on the bench. And then it's only really game week 4 then when I start to think, I think that there are players like potentially Palmer, Palestra, and others. But even without using a transfer, 87% with no chips used pretty decent. So and got Haaland in, for that all important to the Coventry game in Game Week 3, which I'm not actually convinced that is going to be, as obviously it is. I just feel that it's very easy in FPL to just target a game so far down the road and say, I've got to have him against them, or that team against this team. But for all we know, imagine like Coventry hold Arsenal to a 0-0 and then they go and beat Hull in the second game. They haven't conceded a goal. City look as poor as they did last week. They score 1 goal this week, 1 goal next week. Are you really going to rip your whole team up and use chips for one player? So this is why I like to be flexible and have options. And obviously going this way, it gives me 4 different options in terms of what to do, depending on, how the first 2 weeks play out, how Man City look. And not forgetting, obviously, in Game Week 3, that's the start of Europe as well. So there's that to consider.
Good point here from. Oh, sorry, carry on.
No, I'm done. Sorry.
A good comment here from Vegard Bergland. Sorry about the pronunciation of your name. Any chance you get priced out of that Haaland move? Which is,
there is.
Bruno could also rise, to be fair, by 0.2 by that point. But you never know.
It's gonna need, like, if Haaland, and this is the thing as well. If Haaland goes and bangs the hat and City look incredible in Game Week 1, do I really want to go into Palace in Game Week 2 without him? It may just be just pull the trigger or make some moves or whatever. But it is a really good point, and obviously it's only going to take Bruno or Thiago to drop or Haaland to rise. I'm hoping that the opposite happens. I'm hoping that Bruno and Thiago smash it. Haaland finds it tough. Haaland drops in price and whatever else. But that's a really good point and something which I will be watching. And like I say, that is an option. But I can also free hit. I can also wildcard, which I know a lot of people are doing as well. So I feel kind of safe, whatever happens, if that makes sense. That I can get to Haaland if I need to.
So the Zerbi has just announced that. Sorry, actually, Van der Ven and Porro are part of the leadership group, but I think also, according to JME here in the chat, they, not the JME, but that's the first 3 letters of your name, they will both miss Game Week 1, Pedro Porro and Van der Ven, and you are a Tottenham fan. Does that make you less likely to want to go for Kinski, or are you still okay with it?
Well, I've got Thiago.
Oh yeah,
and they're playing Brentford. I think based on what you said, I'm going to go for Verbruggen and the chat. I'm going for Verbruggen. I think I'm going for Verbruggen and Ballard ahead of Williams and Kinski, just based on the conversations that we've had, which really helped me get my mind on those players actually. So I did have Ballard all the way through.
Yeah, they are both ahead. They are both ahead as well on the predicted points, which I think that's like the base.
It bumps it up as well, right? To like 96, 97%.
Yeah.
Don't forget, obviously, the AI team last year finished, was it like 60k or something? And sometimes it looks like it's doing rogue moves or all these crazy moves, but it smashed me the last 3 seasons. In 2 of those 3 seasons, I think it's finished in the top 60 or 70k. And obviously, it's learning from himself, it's training, it's getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And if the AI's ratings are high and it's giving me these sort of transfer recommendations every week, which it does, I think many players now in the FPL world at least looking at it and considering it. I think that's the brilliant thing about these, is you don't have to go with what they say, but they just indicate to you, as they have now, right, with Ballard and Verbruggen, as well as what you said and predicted point was that it looks likely that they're the better pick. It also helps you make decisions, either by confirmation bias or sometimes checking the pick I hadn't even thought of. So
yeah. Again, guys, go and get your team rated and have a look at your recommended transfers as well. Should we have a look at your recommended transfers for Game Week 1?
Please.
To see how because you mentioned it. Like someone like a Ballard might come into this. Oh wow, interesting. Gabriel's the one. It's just like get to Gabriel. Sarr is so hot on. Sarr is so hot on because the models love Sarr after the first couple of weeks, where it is a bit harder, and then it's like the Ipswich game, Leeds, Forest. This is over a 3-game week
Solid.
horizon.
Solace to start. Solace to star in game week 3, maybe, or and Buemo to start might be a really nice move in game week 3 or 4. Because, like I said, I think Buemo is a shortish term move as well. So,
yeah. Gabriel
What
coming in for O'Reilly.
If you make those, what does that do to the rating? I can't even bear to. Oh my goodness!
It's not loads and loads and loads higher, but it is higher. I'm gonna put in Ballard as well, and I'm gonna put in Verbruggen as well. And I don't know if that's gonna change it actually, just to see what that does. That somehow takes it down by a lot. No, 97%.
97.
It does actually. It must slightly increase the predictor points actually because Sar's dropped to the bench there, but I wouldn't personally start with Sar. I think he's just such a monster for predicted points. I think that's I think that's fine because he's so consistent and so good. I personally wouldn't do it, but I understand why the models like him a lot.
Definitely.
Gabriel, any sort of potentials go for him?
I don't think so. I really want O'Reilly. I think that, and that's more of a gut call than anything. But like I say, this is why I love going with the AI. Look at the recommendation, because it just makes you think. It makes you think, no, it really fancies, Gabriel. But obviously, I'm going with the gut or the eye test on O'Reilly. I'm going for the massive upside on O'Reilly. Like Arsenal's fixtures, I think are quite tough, and I'm happy only having one in Califury. Obviously, home to Coventry is nice, but after that, I think 3 of the next 4 are away from home, and I'm sure they'll keep lots of clean sheets. I've got Raya as well, right? So I don't particularly want triple Arsenal defense either. I think with Califury's minutes, I think we've got him down for like 75 as well, which is probably why that can kind of hurt his expected points. But I saw enough last week. I mean, he feel like a striker, right? Imagine if Califury and O'Reilly fulfill their potential over the next few weeks and grab a goal or 2 in the first 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, he had flying up a ranking. So I'm going for O'Reilly.
Yeah, fair enough. I rate it. Okay, this is my team on screen. I just want to get your thoughts on this. I don't know if you can see this. I can read it out if it's easier.
I can't. No, I can. I can now. Yeah. So White, Califury, Maguire, Raya. What strong. Fernandez and Buemo, Semenyo, Soboslai and Jai. So there's a couple of things stick out here for me. Firstly, Timber maybe back in training.
Yeah.
I think obviously White starts against Coventry, but I do wonder after that whether there may be a little bit, a little bit of risk. I expect him to maybe play the first 2, potentially 3.
I will give you some context. This is like, I think if I do go for this, and this is the problem with not having Haaland and having like this aggressive of a team, it's very short term. This is a 2-game week team, really.
Well, if Njai is sold, it may be a 1 week.
I know. This is the thing. I really don't want to go for Lefay, but I think I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna have to go for Lefay because of this.
I think Lefay is the pick. I've been picking him up all pre-season. I haven't got him in any of my
teams.
Boring. What, a 90-minute man on penalties with Ipswich and Fulham in the first 2?
Yeah, but
we've talking myself into him here.
Is he that good? I didn't have him last year, which I think is. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to do this because it's just there's too much noise around and I was only told about this by a commenter, by Seb, who came into the chat when I was with Bakar earlier. I didn't even know this. I haven't had a chance to really look at stuff this morning.
We've reduced his X minutes, so we've said that from game week 1 and 2, we think he probably gets the minutes, right?
That's why he's down.
From game week 3. We reduced him down from game week 3.
Yeah.
If you look at his minutes, have a massive drop. Yeah, we did that a couple of hours ago, based on these news. If he stays, I think we've gone like 88 minutes or something on penalties. A great option. You're talking me into Lefay now. Who would you drop from my team, Jack, for Lefay?
I don't want to be talking you into Lefay, by the way.
I know, but I want to be talked into him. And when you say that out loud, you've got to have him in, right? I want to be talked into someone.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't change your midfield. No, I wouldn't change your. I would personally do the. I think Kinski is also fine because of the last year. The model cannot be that hot on Tottenham defensively, but they've changed a lot of their players. So I think that's also fine. I would go for Verbruggen because of Villa's like frailties at the moment, and all the numbers that we saw from, and also it's the same team, and they've lost Van Hecker though. You know, that was the most important defender. They have good backups there, but you know it's obviously not great. I think Ballard over Williams for game week 2 is the reason. I like Williams more for this game week, but I think game week 2 just for the bit more solid, I go for Ballard. And maybe that's the reason why I got to go for Lefay as well over Ndiaye. I mean, you told me there about the minutes from game week 3 and the rumours and stuff.
I mean, it's only rumours, right?
Yeah, but rumours are important. Like, why would I risk it, especially on a bench boost? I mean, when do Everton even play? Do they play today or tomorrow? Sorry, I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
It feels like a 3 o'clock game. Anyway, yeah, it's a 3 o'clock game. Doesn't necessarily matter, but what if something happens overnight and it's like, oh, actually, we don't want to play him because City have come in with a little bit of a bid or interest. I just don't know if that's worth the risk. So I have to go boring and go for Lefay, sadly. De Kuyper is my one risk though, and he is just. I need a 4.5 million defender for game week 1. That's all I need him for.
I think he plays.
You think?
I think so. I think he plays. Actually, did he play last night?
No, he didn't play.
He didn't play last night. No,
yeah, so it was him and Hinshelwood who didn't play out of the first 11. The fact that Hinshelwood also didn't play.
Was nailed. Yeah, Hinshelwood's nailed, and I think you're good there.
And also, it's a player that I don't know left wing. Not saying that means anything, but it's not like Mitoma played last night. It's someone that's had some minutes in preseason, but I don't think. Well, I mean, they might start. Who knows? Get your questions in, by the way, live chat. Fergie, do you mind if I just quickly run and get a drink from the kitchen and you
you carry on.
Answer a few questions? I don't know how long you want to be on. I know you've been on for quite a while.
Yeah, I got about 5 more minutes if that's okay.
Okay.
So if you want to sort of grab a drink and I will. There's a really good point in the chat. You go, Jack, and I
want to stay because I want to hear the point.
Well, there's a really good point in the chat, which makes me think of potentially moving out Solis for Lefay.
Oh,
and it's the fact that you could bring in Konza next week as a 4.5 because if I've got triple Arsenal already, then I can't bring in Konza next week. And actually, I think bringing Konza in is like could be, again, it's optionality. It's not saying definitely bring in Konza, right? But if I can manage to get to Konza and have triple Arsenal defense, really, really cheap, really early on, I think it's just that potential to stall the wild cards, and because I probably will use it around game week 4, I think. But if I go to game week 4, depending on how things play out, because I'm a huge believer, Jack, in that we have no idea where teams will be in game week. Chelsea might be absolutely awful, right? And then certain teams were flown out of the blocks. Why am I wildcarding into a poor team? I think I'd like to think about these moves. So I think that's a great move. Sorry, whoever made that in the chat, or a really good point. Sorry, whoever made that in the chat. It was Rick D. Say Konza for Gunners in game week 2, Chief over. I really like that. So, but yeah, I will. Jack, if you want to grab a drink,
I'll go.
I'll answer. I'll try and answer more questions.
I do think. I just don't know about committing to an early wildcard because of everything you've just said.
Yeah,
it's just like doesn't feel right. But
no, and this whole thing about the 10, 11 new managers we've got in the league as well. I just really think we don't know who the DEFCON guys are going to be, who the form players are going to be, and this, like, how often really does an early wildcard for fixture swings actually work out? Because
I don't know.
It doesn't make Arsenal defenders or Chelsea players potentially or Man City players any worse picks, right? And I've done this, and I'm sure you have, Jack. I'm sure everyone in the chat as well. You've wildcarded out of a solid team to try and chase better elsewhere. And if you'd have stuck with your Thiagos, your Tarkowskis, your Elliot Andersons, just the players who just score points every week, you'd have done far better. So I've always got that in the back of my mind as well. It's not lunging towards a fixture swing in game week 4, not pre-planning or preempting it. So anyway,
right. Give me 1 minute. I will leave. I'll be back.
You go. Just to have a look at a few of the questions in the chat. Let's have a look. Arnie says Lefay or DCL. I think of the two, I go for Calvert-Lewin. I think Leeds are going to score more goals. Obviously, both of them are 90-minute men on penalties. I think there's also far more options in midfield and up front as well. I think that the Calvert-Lewin is probably the best third choice there personally. Hollow G, is Foden a no-go? The one, I think so. I think Foden, like what have we seen from Foden? It wasn't the last time you saw Foden play well or score a goal. I get it. He's played in the 10. I get it's a positional play, but judging how City looked last week, I think it's very, very hard to get excited. That's part of the reason why I'm going no Haaland, which may obviously bite me on the arse. Wesley said, without Haaland, you're committing to an early wild card. I'm not really sure. I'm not too sure about that, because you can get to Haaland different ways in Game Week 3. You can get in with transfers, with free hit, and the spread of players you get across your team, I feel, is much better. In my Haaland team, I had players like Ayer and Hume and Gross and stuff, which I think will all be reasonable picks, but I much prefer players like O'Reilly and Semenyo and real high scoring, high potential picks from top teams personally. So not that guy who says poor replacement. Is that five? I think he's 5.5 million, isn't he? Who do you think, Jack? Who is your best 5.5 million pick, or 5.5 million?
22.1% ownership. I think Paro was. I don't know if Paro was a great pick anyway, but I mean, yeah, his predicted points for Game Week 1 are 0. So, I mean, if he's in the team, he's a good pick. I would go to an Arsenal defender. I don't know.
Yeah,
depends. It depends.
I think so.
What you were saying on the Solis and Konza thing, I think is very fair. But I think that the money game is Coventry at home, and I think not having a triple Arsenal is like.
That's a really good point. That is a very good
such
point.
A good first. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But what a game!
Yeah. No, I agree, and actually, very specific to my team. I'm already saving my 2 transfers potentially to get Haaland in Game Week 3.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make a defensive transfer. So again, it's very team specific. But I do like if you have got the opportunity to sort of do that. I also think if you're not bench boosting in Game Week 1, and if you brought Conson already as an Aston Villa player, you're laughing, and you've done well then. But I think if you're not bench boosting in Game Week 1 and you're playing a far longer game, getting Konza in, it's 4.5 and sticking him on your bench for the first week is a viable option as well. Obviously, you don't get the triple Arsenal then if you haven't made the move after he's moved to Arsenal. But I really think that's a really solid long term play. I am going to have to go, Jack. Sorry.
Sure.
But
no, absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for all your advice. You've changed my team.
I don't think that's very good.
Changed my team. No, you have. I just need a way now of getting Lefay. I need a way of justifying to myself to get Lefay in as well, because I really want him. But yeah, I think I'm Ballard and Verbruggen now. But thanks for that. Thanks for the chat. And thanks to you, Jack. Really
No worries. I'm just showing the scoreline mug.
Nice. Come on, the
scoreline.
Up the scoreline.
Thank you very much, Fergie. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think you've convinced me to go Lefay over and die as well.
Lefay all the way, mate.
It's a bit boring, but
you'll be cheering on the weekend. Oh, mate, there's nothing boring about a 14-pointer.
No, that's true. That is actually true. That is true. Okay, mate. Well,
thank you. Thanks for everyone in the chat as well. Really appreciate all your time and advice and chat, guys, and yourself, Jack. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, see you in a bit, Fergie, and good luck for the rest of today.
Cheers all, and you guys. Bye-bye.
Okay. Let's go back on here, and we'll activate this. Now I'm back. I'm going to keep going, guys, because I'm really enjoying this. I've been live for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I feel like I've just started. Let's just do some quick fire questions. Why not? Because I think that's a thing to do. I'm going to get my team back on screen with Lefay in it now. With Lefay in it. Which is like, I mean, it's there. I just would rather have Ndiaye in my team than Lefay, because I've played FPL for a long time and I don't want like a centre midfielder. I'd rather have a winger. But I don't know. The game's changed. The game has changed. It has. Ooh, thank you very much, GAC Police. Interesting name for the super chats. Shaw alongside Maguire for a Gameweek 1 bench boost, or switch to a different 4.5 million midfielder defend. 4.5 million defend. Sorry, let me just start again. Shaw alongside Maguire for a Gameweek 1 bench boost, or switch to a different 4.5 million defender such as Aya or De Kuiper. Only going to use them for Gameweek 1. Well, good question. I think I think that you should be tripling up on Manchester United, to be honest. I think Mbermo is such a good pick. I really think Mbermo is like locked. I mean, he's been locked for me for a while. The point being, I only have room for one Man United defender. I think a triple up is essential. I really do. It's not essential, but you know what I mean. Like, I just think it's too good not to go for. I have the Kuiper for Gameweek 1, and Fergie there has supported the fact that I think he's going to start. I only need him for 1 week. It's just a little bit risky to Kuiper. Like, I'm not enjoying the red there. He's the only red you can see here. Everyone else is chilling. The Kuiper red, not ideal. Predicted points there. But yeah, my answer to your question, GAC Police, is to go for... I mean, I think Maguire's better, but I would go for a midfielder, a Man United midfielder instead of Shaw, and then get an Aya or De Kuiper, is what I would do. If you're sort of wedded to what you're saying there, then I would go for Shaw over an Aya or De Kuiper. I mean, let's just have a look at predicted points just for 1 game week. Defenders, Shaw's like right at the top of this. You know, there's your answer. Like, you know, it's clear. It's the clean sheet odds are just good. So I would go for Shaw, but I think there's better options in midfield. That's why I've gone for Mbermo. Keep getting your questions in, guys. If you do want to do you don't have to super chat, but if you do, I'm guaranteed to see it if you do. But honestly, don't worry about it. Do you think you're in Westlife with those curtains? Finally, a great question. We're getting into the good questions now. I'm just trying it. I've had the same hair for so long, and I was getting bored, and I needed to cover up my hairline. So I thought, why not try this? And you know, I'm a big fan of the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. So why not? I mean, was Westlife probably noughties? I don't know. Missed my super chat. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, sorry. Oh, I did miss a super chat. Sorry, Nick. I can sort by super chats, by the way, so I won't actually ever miss them, which is good. I think that's the case. I mean, I have yours here. Thoughts on Havertz as a Gameweek 1 and 2 punt only wildcard 3? Yeah, I don't mind this. I just don't know about Gyökeres because I think he's going to get minutes. Like, that's the problem. If we look at Arsenal players, Strand Larson gets in there as well. Arsenal players for the next 3 game weeks, you see, we're just not sure about who's going to 100% start. He's not going to play full 90s. It's a good price, 7.5. But why would you pick a player from a team who has another big money striker there when you can pick players from Brentford and Isak and Liverpool who don't? I know it's slightly more money, but I just wouldn't. Personally wouldn't risk it. Even across the first 2 game weeks, I just don't think that's worth the risk. Thank you very much for the super chat. Interesting. Get Rodon, Jack, and save yourself. Yeah. I don't think Leeds are going to keep a clean sheet, but that's a really good bit from you, by the way. Really good. Really good. Where does Rodon come? 3.3 minutes. Actually not great. It's not great. And again, this is really only for 1 game week, because game week 2 he'd be benched. It's interesting that his points are lower than you might think. I just want to go to Kuiper, left winger playing against Villa at home for a good defence. And if that is to be the case, I like this a lot. I also don't mind if he doesn't play the full game. If he comes off in the 65th minute, I think there's a good chance of a clean there. So I think it's okay. But again, on bench boost, it's slightly risky. It is slightly risky. Like, it's okay normally because you'd have the bench to cover it if he doesn't start, although I think he would come on. It is slightly risky. It is slightly risky. How are we all feeling about our teams, by the way, guys? Are we locked in? You know, we're still a decent way out from deadline. Let me just check how many of you are watching this right now. Thank you very much for being in the chat. And if you could drop a like on this and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're over 110,000 subscribers now. We're actually over 111,000. If you could subscribe to the channel, it'd be very much appreciated. Let me just have a quick look at how many of you are watching this right now. If I can get to it on my software, we've got 1K people in here, which is fantastic. So that is fantastic. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. Right, what about Vuskovic over De Kuiper? Vuskovic is 0.5 million more. I don't have that 0.5. Solis, Roofs, Neco Williams versus Raya, Lefay, and Aina. That's interesting. I don't love Aina, but I prefer Raya and Lefay. I think, honestly, I have that, like, that's very, very close. I'd probably slightly go for Solis, Roofs, and Neco Williams, but that's close. Don't know what to do about Ndai. I want to keep him. I'm exactly the same, NRG runs. I'm exactly the same. But, I mean, Fergie's just been on here, and we've been talking about Ndai. You know, good predictions for game week 1, which, again, is probably the only game where I need him. But after that, you know, he falls way down. You know, where is he? He's here because of these rumours. I have changed. I've put Lefay in because he's just safer. It's a boring pick, but he's safer. There aren't really any other 6 million mids that I like. There's a couple of 5.5s, but don't love it. Thoughts on Richarlison? Yeah, I like Richarlison a lot for game week 1. Again, like, if they're going to sign Marmoush, there's rumours of him going back to Everton. I don't know. Like, you do need to be slightly safe, especially with my team where you can see I've been pretty risky at the back. I need to be a little bit safer across the rest of the team. That is the only problem with that. It's more aggressive than I'd normally be with a first team, but I do have a shorter horizon, so I think it's okay. Right, let's get a few more questions in. Let's go down to the bottom here. Get your questions in, guys. Get your questions in. What about Semenyo to a 6.5, and DCL to Thiago? I like that a lot, actually. It's a good shout. I just like Calvert-Lewin a lot. Calvert-Lewin has been nailed in my team for a while. Will Richarlison be in the starting 11? I think he probably will be. But will he be in the starting 11 in future? I'm not sure. You're doing a great job, says Matthew. Well, thank you, Matthew. It's very kind. Lomans for the first 2 weeks instead of Raya, but have Odegaard in mid with Solis and Calafiori. Ooh. You know what? I like that. I do like that. I would say that I think Arsenal's chances of a clean sheet are higher than their chances of blowing Coventry away. And also their defenders are very important for scoring. Like, Calafiori has big goal threat. Gabriel has big goal threat. So I think it's sort of a double whammy if you go for their defenders. That's the reason I've gone for 2 of them. But I don't mind that at all. Thoughts on Richarlison? I've just answered that. Do you think Richarlison will be better? There's a lot of Richarlison in the chat here, guys. Not in my thinking, because I just don't think he's nailed. I mean, Solanke's going to be back as well. Marmoush. Andy Robertson at 4.5 is good. I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet at Brentford. That's the reason. I think De Kuiper has more of an opportunity to keep a clean sheet. Gabriel and Palmer, or Bruno and White? I would go Bruno and White. I think Bruno is the most essential player for game week 1 and game week 2. So I think you have to have him. I'm going to captain him in game week 1 and game week 2. Going no Bruno and backing Haaland is Sam Martin. It's brave. It is brave. Again, like, this point of the season is where we have the least information. So there's no right or wrong. Like, I've had a few friends messaging me this morning being like, I don't want to get it wrong. Like, what I need to, like, is this a mistake? There are obvious FPL mistakes in terms of not playing the game correctly. But is having no Bruno in your team a mistake? No. Is having no Haaland a mistake? No. Is having no Gabriel a mistake? No. You can play the game how you want to play the game, as long as you're not putting in, like, stupid players. Like if you have Porro in your team now, for example, get him out of your team. He's not going to play. Yeah, 0 predicted points. his ownership is still super high. Like this is like 22% of people are going to be hit with Porro not playing. I think that's been confirmed now. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't 100% know, but it looks to me like that's pretty much been confirmed. I'll have a quick check actually, just if I can see anything on Porro. Yeah, De Zerbi has said, I mean, I'll show you on screen right here. De Zerbi has said on Spurs injury news, Mickey is not on the list tomorrow like Pedro Porro. Okay? Van de Ven not playing, Porro not playing. So, I mean, that's why you got to use Fantasy Football Hub, because if you have Porro in your team, you will see 0 predicted points and you'll be like, why has he got 0? Well, he's not going to play. That's such an edge already, by the way, over like over 22% of managers. Like that will come down by Gameweek 1 deadline, but not that much. Like, it's such an edge. And again, you know, you have your bench to cover it. They'll have bench to cover it, but such an edge. Putting the band on Burmo. It's aggressive, but I like it. I think Bruno's just a much more solid pick, but you know, just proves that Twitter is the best source, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. And thank you, Jamie, for letting me know about that earlier in the stream. As much as I don't particularly like Twitter, I don't tweet very much at all. I go on it all the time. It is just the best place to get news. There's a lot of like absolute shite on there, but it is the best place to get news. Aya or Hume? I would go for Hume for Gameweek 1. I would go. So what I'm seeing here from the chat is there's a lot of stuff on Richarlison. Is that because he is really highly predicted in the forwards for Gameweek 1? I mean, look at that. He's above Joao Pedro, according to Fantasy Football Hub. Maybe I'm missing something there. I mean, he's way above Calvert-Lewin. Maybe I'm missing something there. I don't think I am, for the reasons I've suggested. And look, again, over the next 3 game weeks, where is he? That's the thing. That's the problem. If he's just for Gameweek 1, I think he's fine. But I can't commit to saying that he's going to start after that. One more time, by the way, guys. If you don't know what I'm looking at here on my screen, this is Fantasy Football Hub. You can go and get your team rated for free now. Click the link in the description or in the live chat. It's pinned. My team rating is 95%. It's very strong. 78.8 predicted points on my bench boost. I've made a change today. Lefea's come in for and die. See if you can go and beat me for free. And then after that, you need to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. It's 50% off right now. If you don't win your mini league this season, you'll have all your money refunded to you. That is our promise. A couple of T's and C's there, but they're really easy to follow. And then you get access to, and I will show you this right now because it's simple to see. These are the things that I care about: Opta-Stats package, predicted points tool, player comparison tool, fixture analyzer, player profile, and then you get you get expert team reveals. Let's have a look at who the experts are this year. Wow. I mean, look at that. Do you not want to read my article? I wrote this, okay? I spent time writing this. Look at that. Big Dan Ballard is in. You know, go and check it out. Go and check it out. Another super chat. Thank you very much to Alex, who says, White to O'Reilly and Ballard to a 4 million, if only for 1 game. No. I like White and Ballard more. I mean, I'm assuming you're not going to play the 4 million. But I think White is as good as O'Reilly this. Probably not, actually. I think White's. I'm very hot on White for this week, and Ballard as well. I mean, he's on the screen right now. I mean, you can see him. He's right there. Yeah, look, you can see the dark green there. Really, really strong. Sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. The Hub generally doesn't seem to advocate Haaland. Can I ask why? Well, have a look at this. Because today it's changed. Haaland is now back in the best Gameweek 1 wildcard team according to Fantasy Football Hub's AI. This changes a lot based on like all news and form and everything. But right now Haaland's in. He's back in. So, yeah, this does change. But there we go. Just signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, says Espresso Macchiato. Thank you very much for doing that. You're not going to regret it. Like, I use this every single week. And also, look, I can see how my team looks for Game Week 2 already. That's why I've gone for Ballard over Williams. Because if I have Williams in this slot, I'm forced into playing Calafiori and White. And I'm not 100% that one of them is, is going to be, well, that both of them are going to be nailed for game week 2. I feel like that's a sort of game where Nkapie could come in for Calafiori, a tougher game away at Villa where they want to be more defensive. So that's why I'm preparing to bench one of them and not triple up. So that's why Ballard is in for me, ahead of Williams, who plays Liverpool away. Interestingly, now that I've put Lefay in, I'm going to have a big benching headache, which is sort of one of the reasons why I liked Ndiaye, because I was going to bench him here. But anyway, that's fine. And then I can see in game week 3, the team looks rubbish. I've just realised this isn't my team. What have I done here? Oh, I've not put. It's because I inputted transfers. That's fine. Slater is not there. Bruno Fernandes is in. That's yeah. Has that been the case the whole time? No, that's fine. Yeah, you can see in game week 3. Yeah, 87% is way lower than the 96 and 95 for weeks before. And you can keep flicking through. That's why you need to be a member. Sign up, guys. You got to sign up. You got to do it now. I'm going no Haaland. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm just going to live a little. Like the closer that we get to deadline, and the more that Haaland's predicted points increase, and you can see they're up to 6.7 now. If you've watched any of the other videos on the channel, they've not been at 6.7 across pre-season. It is scary. It's scary. That's the end of my sentence. How good is Odegaard as a pick? I think he's a good pick. I personally wouldn't go there. I don't have any Arsenal attackers. I think I would go for Solis very slightly over Odegaard. I think he just has more goal involvement threats. KDH in for Ndiaye. You need 0.5 for that. He would be. Yeah, I really like him, and you can see here the model loves him. He's sixth of all midfielders. Solis as well, super high. But Dewsbury Hall, look at that for a start. Really, really solid. A lot of routes to points for him. So I would go for him. He's just 0.5 more. Top 2, 4.5 million defenders for the first 3 game weeks. The first 3 game weeks. Well, I can show you this right now. Let's set this to players below 5 million. Shaw is top, which I would agree with. I think he is the best over the first 3 game weeks. Aya is next. Why is Rodon low here? Why is he low? I mean, the fixtures aren't great, I suppose. Forest away, Brentford away, Brighton away. Clean sheet potential. I think Shaw's definitely top, and I think I would agree. Aya is second. Did you say 2 or did you say 3? Your comment is gone. There are too many. Sorry about that. I can't find the comment. Can't find the comments. Anyway, that's my answer. I think that it's on the screen right there. Shaw and Aya. This is my final team. It's my final team right now, with two and a bit hours to the deadline. Yeah. I mean, like, who knows? Stuff could change. I had Ndiaye before I started streaming, so could change. Lefay is so boring, but I think I'm going to have to do it. Yes, this is my final team right now. And no, to answer the question about the team rating based on the chip strategy at the bottom here, it doesn't change the team rating. It changes the predicted points, though. Obviously, because the bench boost is not in play now. So I go from 63.5 up to 78.8. So that's what, 15.5 points increase from a bench boost. If I get 15, 16 points, that's class. And I hope that De Kuyper is slightly higher than this. Like if I put Aya in, it would increase by more, but I'm hoping for some upside with De Kuyper. That's what I'm going for. What do you... Oh my goodness, the chat's going too quickly. I can't see. I'm so happy FPL is back. This will change after week 2. Yeah, I completely agree, Kane. Like Fergie was saying earlier, you got the excitement. It feels like Christmas Day almost. But yeah, one bad game week, we'll be back. Don't worry about that. What do I think of Cunha? I like Cunha. I just prefer Mbermo. And I think there are 3 better Man United options than Cunha. I love Maguire, by the way. He is... I just feel like Maguire and Ballard. That is threat.com, by the way. Like, if you look at all my defenders, They all have a great chance of being involved in a goal. Ballard and Maguire have the DEFCON potential as well, which I like. The others don't, but why not? Can I please show Ben Krellin's team? I can, but you can go and look at it yourself here. Ben Krellin's team, expert reveal. I'm not going to show you this one because this is you need to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub to see this. If you sign up, click the link in the description. You can go and see Ben's team. It's right there on our expert reveals. So if you want to go and check it out, go and check it out. That is the most updated team of his, the #1 fantasy manager in the world. So if you want to do that, it's on our website. Go and have a look. Reckon Maguire is there for long though? No, I don't. But again, this is quite a short-term team, so I'm happy with that. Palmer or Rodgers? It's a good question, that, Palmer or Rodgers. It's one of the reasons why I haven't gone for Palmer. I mean, the answer is Palmer, but it's one of the reasons why I haven't gone for Palmer because the answer is not like immediately obvious. For 2 million difference, I don't think it's worth it. Like Palmer or Semenyo, I think that's very, very close. Hence why I've gone for Semenyo. Jack, would you go Gabriel, Ayer, and Sharda and Dye, or O'Reilly, White, and KDH? Okay, so Gabriel, Ayer, and one of Sharda or Ndai. So I say Sharda now because Ndai has these rumours. Or O'Reilly, White, and KDH. Oh, that's hard. I think they're both good. I think I'd go with your gut on that one. Hinshelwood over Lefay for me. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I mean, what a shout that is. What a shout. The reason I've had this reaction, by the way, is because I love that comment. I'm not going to do this, I don't think. Or am I going to do it? I said Hume over Ayer for Gameweek 1, by the way, not for the first 3 game weeks. Hinshelwood over Lefay. That's a much more fun pick. Let me have a look in our toolbox and compare these two guys from last year. I'm going to do it by filter by start and have a look at last season. So predictions has Lefay above Hinshelwood. But let's have a look at the points. I need this to be per start. Yeah, okay, head-to-head per start. No, because pen share. To be fair, I mean, looking at this, Lefay just does beat Hinshelwood. It's very close. I'm gonna go Lefay. What about per 90? Let's have a look at this. So Hinshelwood jumps above, but I think Lefay is going to stay on the pitch the entire time. Penshare swings it to Lefay for me, despite the fact that he's boring, and I've chatted about the fact that I don't like how boring he is. Whatever. Lefay plays a promoted team. Don't overthink it. Yeah, you're right. I do feel like this is the best time we'll have all year to play Villa. I'm reminded of last season where they started off so badly, and their team has been completely decimated. But Brighton have just played a game. What are your thoughts on Thiago for 8 mil? I like him. I've found the money to go to Isak. I just think that Isak is a better player than Thiago. I mean, I'm thinking back to when Isak was just like essential in FPL. I don't think he's that far away. I feel like he could get back to that. Thiago had a great year last year, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's Thiago's best ever season in his life. I think Isak's just a much better player. But league code, anyone? We don't have a league code, Will. But I think we might have one with a £1,000 prize. I'm not sure about that, but it's in the works. Team locked except for the midfield. Currently, Gross, Szoboszlai, Lefay, Sangare, Bruno have 0.5 million available to upgrade someone. Any suggestions? Well, I would upgrade one of your 5.5s, I think. Maybe. Which Sangari is it as well as the question? I don't know about that. It depends on strategy as well. If you're going to give me, guys, deliberations, please could you give like some context around your team as well? Stenciano, I'm a Villa fan and these sales are worrying, but our structure is consistent no matter who plays. I don't think we'll get battered like everyone thinks. That makes sense. And I've seen a lot of stuff about Villa saying this is actually quite an exciting time. And yeah, you're right. Villa have changed a lot of players in the past. You have like one of the elite managers in the world. So completely agree with that. Makes sense to me. I still think though that you are going to be just naturally, you're going to be weaker at the start of the season. Who are my 100% locked in players? That's a good question. The players that are not going to change now, 100%, is the forward line. That's nailed on. I'm not going for Haaland. Simple as that. Szoboszlai is nailed, and Burmo is nailed. Bruno Fernandes is nailed. Ballard, I think, is nailed. Calafiori is nailed. Raya is nailed. Verbruggen is nailed. Well, Raya's not nailed. The only thing I could do differently. I mean, I really liked Bakar's team earlier. I really like that team. The difference is going to be like swapping my Arsenal and Man United players to have Gabriel and Lomans, and then downgrading Semenyo. Although now that I'm less inclined to do that actually, because I was going to have Ndiaye and Lefay. So actually that's out the window now. There's not another 6 million I really like. And then it was upgrading De Kuyper to Neco Williams, which is an upgrade. But again, that's only for 1 week. So this team is pretty much nailed, I would say, at this point, guys. Pretty much nailed. How are you guys feeling about your teams? Are they nailed or are they not? Again, you've got to go and get your team rated for free. If you're new to the channel, if you're just clicking on this for the first time, go and get it rated for free. Link down below. 95% team rating. It's not 100. Can you beat it? Let me know in the live chats. Go for Aya. Take the DEFCON. Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's tempting, isn't it? It really is tempting. And you know he's going to play for sure. I'm going up. I'm upside chasing on it. I'm locked into De Kuyper. I'm upside chasing. Maybe that's a mistake. I think, you know what? When I finish the stream in about 40, I'll finish at about 4:30. When I finish the stream, I'm going to think about that is the slot I'm going to think about the most. Kane says, I've just signed up to Fantasy Football Hub. Jack, you are now 100% responsible for my success and failure. Well, this is the thing. It's risk-free because, as I'm sure you saw when you signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, we asked you to input a mini-league code. If you don't win that mini-league and you use Fantasy Football Hub every week, you'll have all your money refunded to you. Now, that's how confident we are in the product. You are going to win at FPL if you use Fantasy Football Hub. And if you don't, then it's risk-free. You'll get your money refunded. Like, it's a ridiculous offer. Like, is anyone else doing this? Imagine this, right? You get to use something for an entire year, and if you don't win, you get all your money sent back to you. Now, we refunded so many of you guys last year. We're going to do it again this year, but that is how confident the guys are in Fantasy Football Hub that you are going to win. And if not, you get your money refunded. Anyone going to Fest today, by the way? I'm not going, which I'm actually quite annoyed about because it's just like so close to me, but I've sprained my foot playing football. So I can't really walk, which is annoying. Because I'll be honest, guys, I would love to go and have some beers, but I'll be watching at home with my foot up. You chose Reece James. Is there a better option? I do think there is. I don't think Reece James is 100% nailed on to start. I think he will start, but he's going to be playing probably right centre back, maybe right wing back. But again, we need to not think of James as much as a flying fullback anymore because his body can't do it. I wish that deal was true for food. Yeah, unfortunately, it's sort of an online product thing. I don't know how that would work for food because well, I mean, it's sort of, no, you know what? It is for some food. You know, you can try something, pay for it, and then if you don't like it, you can get your money back. That is a thing. A super chat from The Smiths, 1986. Thank you very much, The Smiths. I wonder if it's just, one of you? I mean, how many of you... It says 1986. Are there 1,986 Smiths who've got behind this £4.99 donation? If so, that's a very minuscule amount each. But I really do respect that donation or super chat. Raya Kinski, Calafiori, Maguire, Ballard, Gvardiol, Mihremovic, Sharda Bruno, and Burma Cap, Semenyo, Shobo, DCL, Isaac, Pedro, no Haaland bench boost. Yeah, really like that team. I like that team a lot, actually. It's got good balance. It's not too far away from my team. It's got good balance, a couple of differentials in there, and Burma Cap is crazy. I personally wouldn't do that, but I can tell by this team that you are the sort of manager that takes on a template. Yeah, really like the team. Good luck to you with that team. Although I sort of am you haven't told me your bench is the only thing. Or like you've just missed. Oh no, sorry, you have. For some reason I read Isaac Pedro as the same name. Yeah, great team. I like that a lot. I really do. It's very solid. Very, very solid. The differences between that and mine are that, again, like the one thing I would say about that team is you don't have triple Arsenal. Like like everyone is saying they're going to romp the league. Like that they're the most unchanged team. They've strengthened really well, and you don't have triple Arsenal. So that's the one thing I would say. Why don't you have 3 Arsenal from 3 of the best team in the league? But again, solid team. Don't get the DCL pick. What about Haaland, JP, Thiago front 3? Yeah, it's a better front 3, but it's about the rest of your team. Did I see Iraola's comments on Isak? God, no. Please don't tell me don't tell me there's something's happened with Isak. Please, no. All right, it's good. Right, good. It's good comments. Goodness me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Training every day, adding minutes, played a good World Cup with Sweden. Again, he played every minute apart from 1 in their 3 knockout games. I want to keep him there as much as we can. We know his level, he will score the goals. Yeah, I also like the fact that it's at St James's Park. I think that adds to it. As I said in the video in this pre-season, I can't remember a player being hated as much as like from their own or by their own previous fans as Isak is and still is at Newcastle. I mean, Trent's close at Liverpool, but Isak is the one, and I think like he will want to score so badly. Am I using bench boost? I am using bench boost. You can see here my bench boost chip is active. I've got 78.8 predicted points. Let me just make sure this is in the screen. Anything you guys want to see on Fantasy Football Hub, by the way, because I can show you this. Like just to show you here, I've got all this stuff. If you want like player comparisons, player points predictions, we can have a look at the fixtures, the Opta stats, AI transfers, AI teams. Let me know in the live chat. I'll be live until 4:30, so 8 more minutes. Let me know. Can you cancel your subscription so there's no recurring billing? Yes, you can do that. There's no scam or anything here. It's like, it's Fantasy Football Hub is great. I've used it for years before I even worked for Fantasy Football Hub. It's like so obvious that you need to be using it. It's also like, it's just cheap. What is it? It's like the price of a coffee a month. How like you just don't think about it. If you go and like to buy a coffee or you go and buy a pint, you just don't think about it. Think about how much time we spend playing fantasy football, and it's like you obviously want to enhance your ability and your experience with just a little bit of money for all the hours that we put into this. I mean, I've been streaming for 2 hours and 55 minutes. Can you pay for it monthly though? You can't pay for it monthly. That's a new change. No monthly payments. We just think that you should just pay for it at the start of the season. I mean, it's not my decision. It's like the marketing team. So I won't comment on that too much. What about Anderson instead of Semenyo to fit Gabriel? Yeah. I can't do that though. I'd have to go to a 6 million defender, a 6 million midfielder, not Anderson, to be able to upgrade one of my Arsenal defenders. And with Ndiaye out, I now have Lefebvre already. So I don't want to do that. Thoughts on Gross? I don't... It's quite a boring pick. obviously. And he played the full game last night. He's 36, isn't he? I don't know. Like that's one thing you can see in my team. I don't have a Brighton midfielder. A lot of teams have Gomez, they have Gross as well. I just have De Kuyper. I don't know about Brighton. And De Kuyper is my least nailed player here. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Gross gets a lot of 2 points. He does. He also gets a lot of 5+ points. But Konza for 4.5 million. He'd surely be good to put on the bench and get a fourth Arsenal player. No, because I don't want 4 Arsenal players, because then you have to transfer one out before you can make any other transfers in your team if you have 4 of any team. So I don't want to do that. Keep getting your questions in, everybody. Just a few more minutes here on the live stream, but don't spam the chat, by the way, because I'll have to mute you. So I'll just give everyone a warning, but just don't spam the chat, please. Again, you can see the pinned message in the live chat. You've got to go and sign up to Fantasy Football Hub right now. There are 750 of you in the chat right now. You've got to go and sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. You have to. I'm going to just do a little timeout there for that user. Sorry about that, but it was your own fault. Ultimately, if you don't sign up to Fantasy Football Hub and you have a bad Gameweek 1, that will be your own fault as well. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. Signed up. Good man, Craig. Good man. Again, we have almost 1 million users now. If you think about your mini league where you have that player in your league that beats you every year, it's almost like the chances are that they're using Fantasy Football Hub. If you think about the number of engaged managers, I reckon it's not 10 million. I reckon the number of good managers these days is a couple of million. 2 to 3 million, I would say, are good. They play the game for the full season, like all of you guys in the chat right now. If 1 million of those managers are using Fantasy Football Hub and you're not, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, Konza's already an Arsenal player in FPL. Yeah, okay. Well, there we go. Do I think Isak is worth 1 million more than Thiago? I do. That's why I've got him in my team. Is Colwell nailed and a good option? Yeah, I think he's nailed. I mean, I don't 100% know a new manager, but yeah, I think he's nailed. It's just I don't Fulham away and Brighton at home don't scream clean sheets to me compared to Arsenal and Man United. Thoughts on Semenyo? Yeah, he's just in. He's just in for me. I just do. It's not coverage for City, but Semenyo was so good last year. I've seen this about he's playing wide. Yeah, he's a winger. What do you expect? I know he was playing sort of second striker last year. It's not his best position. He's a winger. But Pep's greatest ever teams, the wingers played super wide. There's that Henry story about him playing left wing and being subbed off because he was trying to drift inside and go and play over on the right at Barcelona. Sterling and Sané was super high and wide. They still made the box though. There's still massive expectation on wide wingers to get in the box and score goals. And with Maresca at Chelsea, our wingers were high and wide, but they still, they weren't very good, but they were still expected to contribute. Really, Jamie? Oh my God, I've not even thought about that. Jamie says, just seen by the way, is it Jamie? I'll call you Jamie. Just seen rumours that Sky are bringing back Written in the Stars as their theme music tries to keep calm. Don't keep calm, buddy. That'd be class. GOAT. Oh, didn't really enjoy that, to be honest. So yeah, get rid of that. Also, it cuts off really abruptly when it goes to "We could be the greatest of all time." It cuts. It doesn't let the word "time" finish, which it just irks me. So, that's not really relevant to anything, but there we go. I've gone Solis instead of Szoboszlai, but got Van Dijk in defence, but 3 Arsenal. Yeah, fine. I think Szoboszlai is just It's just a good pick. What's your best ever triple captain pick? That would have been when I came 3,000th, not like maybe like 8 years ago or so. And I triple captained a Man City player. They beat Southampton like 6-0. I think I triple captained Aguero or Sterling, but I had both of them and they got me about 50 points combined. It was ridiculous. Give up your day job. You're a great singer. Thanks, man. I actually wasn't even trying to sing well there, but I can do. Singing live stream at deadline. How about that? How do you find your FPL ID? You know what? I will show you. This is what you do. Oh, look. I mean, get your team rated. Get your team rated, guys. You need to do it. This is important so I can actually check as well. Like my team is actually set up. I haven't really done this yet. I mean, this is... By the way, I'm definitely bench wanking. That's just nailed on for me that I'm bench wanking. That is the team. Oh, I need to change and die. Yeah. It's tough, but I just have to. If you haven't seen, just don't know if he's going to start. Benching Joao Pedro and Burmo, Isak and Raya. Don't trust any of them. And that's how much confidence I have in this man, Calvert-Lewin. I'm starting him alone up front. To see your team ID, go on here, click on Gameweek history, and you see, I don't know if you can see, you can't see, but in the, like up above here, in where like the URL is, it says fantasy.premierleague.com/entry/ and then a number. That is your ID. That is the only way to see it before the game actually starts. There you go. Do I worry that Calafiori will be taken off before 60 minutes? Yeah, it's a slight worry, but I just think the upside is too high. I think the upside is just too high. So I think I just think the risk is worth. I just think the risk is worth going for with Calafiori. Any final questions, guys, before I end this live stream? I've been live now for over 3 hours. It's gone very quickly. Get your final questions in. I'll just do a couple more minutes as I'm enjoying this so much. I will say again one more time, for those of you watching right now, 2 hours out from deadline, go and sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. The link is down below. Go and do it. If you've been on the website or you haven't been or been on the app and you've been thinking about it, do it now. Get your team rated. It's free, and then sign up as well. Go and do it. Go and do it. I can't implore you enough to do it. What does the fox say is an interesting final question. I don't actually remember. What is the first one? Like ring ding 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 ding? Don't remember. What a meme. Gvardiol or De Kuiper? I mean, come on, really? Frimpong, thoughts? Not for me, but I don't mind it. I think I'd find the money for Van Dijk. He's also so injury prone. O'Reilly or Calafiori for Gameweek 1? I mean, O'Reilly's better, but it's close. And that's a million difference. Barry versus Calvert-Lewin for Gameweek 1 only. Calvert-Lewin. Is Barry on penalties? He might be now. No, when Dyer's on penalties. I still expect him to start. Hot take for the FPL season. Mine is Odegaard to score more points than Bruno. I mean, that is not going to happen. I'll tell you that for free. Calafiori won't play 90 minutes. That's fine. He doesn't have to play 90 minutes. He can come off and bank the clean sheet. It's just, I just think he has such attacking upside this week. What's my hot take for the FPL season? My hot take for the FPL season. We'll end on that because I think that's a good question. And I will actually think about this for quite some time. I want to make it about Chelsea because I'm a Chelsea fan. I think this is tough, actually. Really tough. And by the way, thank you guys for locking in to this stream. I've really enjoyed it. So thank you very much. I'm just going to check I've not missed any super chats. I don't think I have done. If I did, then I'm honestly like so sorry. And I will get back to you. I think, can I check that I've not missed any? Yes, I can. Oh God, I might have missed a couple. Okay, just in case I missed them. Solis or Enzo Lefebvre and Hume or Maguire. I would go for Enzo and Maguire. Isak or Thiago I did answer. We did Palestra or Gvardiol, and we've got all the other ones. Nice. hot take for the season. Let's end with this. I think Rodgers is going to have a great season. I think Rodgers is going to have a really good season, and I'm tempted to say he will outscore Palmer this year. Now, the reason for that, I don't know. I really want Palmer to have a great year. I'm sort of like hoping that what I'm saying there will go the other way. But Pedro Neto to be the secret weapon in the Alonso system, again, could happen. Like wing back Pedro Neto makes so much sense to me. But I think there's a decent chance he leaves. And if he's going to leave for like over 80 million, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it. Let's leave it there for that one. Thank you very much for staying tuned to this. We've had loads of you. I actually want to see how many people have we had in this. We've had over 20,000 people in this, which is phenomenal. So thank you guys very, very much for that. And good luck for Game Week 1. Again, one final push from me. Please go and sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. Go and sign up. Use the link in the description. It's also pinned in the live chat. You've just got to do it. If you want to win an FPL this year, sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. It's really not that expensive at all. And it also just heightens your enjoyment of the game. And also, we're again running our unbelievable offer that if you do not win your mini league this season, you will have all your money refunded to you. That's how confident we are that if you use Fantasy Football Hub each and every game week, you will have a great FPL season. Thank you very much, guys. Catch you very soon after Game Week.